yours, but still in me. I cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I'm still never free from this addiction, affliction. Now it's yours, but still in me. Cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I don't deserve you. You stay true. I want to save you from my misery. You couldn't save me from my misery. I'm addicted to my misery box. Addicted to my misery box.
It began with the suicide of Charles Blackwell, just days after his 55th birthday. Then the Rhineswan family massacre. 3 generations painfully passing from this world, crying the same crimson tears Blackwell had.
Sit alone on the edge of
5 members of the prominent Rhineswan family were found dead.
After that, the media finally gave their murderer a name. The Red Crier Killer.
Memento mori. Remember you will die.
Investigators believe the killer may be the same individual the media has dubbed the Red Crier.
Memento mori. Remember you will die. I know it's droll to sell my soul. I wanted to protect them though, but I couldn't even play my role. Now vengeance is my only goal. Memento mori. Too late for sorry. Now goodbye. Breath goes dry. I will cry when I remember you will die.
And good morning, best chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to some delicious, malicious morning nonsense chat. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hello to you. Hope you have a wonderful Monday, a wonderful Tuesday, and a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday so far, chat. Welcome. We got tons of things to go over today. Lots of stuff. Let's see how it goes, chat. Let's see how it goes. Let's see where it takes us today. Who decided, also, speaking of today, who decided to join us today? That's what Mom says. Morning, folks. Men's high stands for fantasy. Man, is there a pretty girl in it? Fantasy, yes. Does this cool shit happen? Fantasy, yes. Men, okay. It's kind of how it goes. It's been pretty funny. I don't know. This is kind of weird thing that happened on Twitter. I saw this go down. I didn't see the reaction to it. I could have guessed the reaction to it, but I didn't see the reaction to it. But the reaction I was expecting happened. And we're going to go over that. And it's pretty funny, I assume. Because there's a whole video on it. It's pretty funny. It's just it caused a outrage, a humongous outrage on Twitter, of course, and it should be pretty entertaining. Let's see, it says Litab Sukeban means girl boss, delinquent girl. I like how those are the same thing. Like it's either girl boss or delinquent girl, like same thing. Like she's either like a delinquent or a girl boss. Like it's like, yeah, if she's a girl boss, obviously she's also delinquent or insane. Not very feminine at all. Let's see. Ersy forces up LD and Best Chat because modern lit and storytelling are so vapid. I highly recommend you collect as many of your favorite and physical as possible. Never know when the woke will modernize them. Yeah, they'll just go back and like they did with some of those books, right? So there's with the Roald Dahl. I think they went back and tried to modernize his books. What else did they do? There was another one where they did that. I forgot which one it was, where they kind of went in and modernized some other old books, and they put in like modern vernacular and modern day sensibilities and Tumblrina viewpoints and stuff. Because now that you know about it, will we EFEP the stolen Lego Star Wars video? Stolen Lego? Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, the whole thing going down like this. What was it? How much was it worth? 200 something thousand dollars. That's a $200,000 collection. It's pretty insane. It's very skeevy, very skeevy. So Gunblade Knight says, "Good morning, Eldine Best Chat. Praise be to Space King." And see, what are your thoughts on audiobooks? I'm really liking First Legendary Beast Tamer and Path of Ascension. I love audiobooks. Audiobooks have my full 100% support. Because not only do you get to listen to it, you can listen to a cool book while you do something else. You can also have the potential of like radio dramas and stuff like that. I've been really enjoying that the dramatized full cast Harry Potter collection. It's been pretty awesome, I have to say. It finally got me through the books in their entirety because I had stopped at Azkaban a long time ago. And you have the opportunity sometimes to actually listen to the author. Like I know Neil Gaiman likes to read his books, and it's pretty interesting to hear the author who wrote the piece actually voice the piece, give voice to it. That's a unique experience that you won't get with reading it on your own. So yeah, audiobooks will give you some unique opportunities that just reading the book will not. So I mean, it's not necessarily necessary opportunities, but it is like, to me, it's pretty cool to like listen to the author actually read it out, or or listen to someone else read it out instead of yourself, because it's kind of like the whole play thing. The listening to a play or watching a play, right? It's like you have 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys play the same exact role. Like you can watch 5 different versions of Hamlet and watch 5 different guys portray 5 different versions of Hamlet, and they're all going to be the same. Like they're all going to portray the same Hamlet, but they're all going to be unique to the actor. Like the actor will do something different with Hamlet. Like one might be crazier, one might have a more subtlety to his Hamlet. So one might be more of a wackadoo Hamlet. I don't know. It's all different. Like I remember when they had like what's his name? With Dumbledore. Like they had the original actor for Dumbledore, which is, I forgot his name, but he had that voice, that very, very calm, very fatherly tone. Richard Harris, I think it was. Like he felt like Dumbledore. And then we got the Gambon. We got Gambon, who was like a more intense, ready to punch someone's lights out kind of Dumbledore. Like it's same character, but 2 different actors. So I could read it one way, right? I could read a book one way on my own, and then if I listen to the author read it, I might get some more insight and more of a view. Even if it's not the author, it's like someone else is reading it in their way, their interpretation. It's just really cool, because that's kind of a very powerful, poignant thing of storytelling and stories, is that it is one story, but there's something ever changing about it, and it's really cool to have that in there, to experience that. Like this version of this story is read by this guy, and this story read by this guy. It's kind of why people will enjoy one guy reading a story, and then, oh, Stephen Fry read it too. Oh, let me get the Stephen Fry version. Oh, let me get the Hugh Laurie version, because it's always going to be like this. They're reading the same story, but they're going to give their own little flair to it. Like I can get the one story read by just a regular guy, or I can get the same story written by the author, and I might get them both. It's pretty cool. So yeah, definitely audiobooks should not be shunned, and in fact they should be embraced, because it allows you to access more of the potential to experience that particular art piece than you would otherwise have. It's pretty awesome. Somebody says, good morning, Aldine Best Check. Good morning to you, Carlos Batista. Good morning. Hello to you, Book Column. Good morning to you. Lord of Dragons from Rumble, good morning, everyone. Wish me luck because I'm closing on a house today. Oh, very nice. Well, good luck to you, Lord of Dragons. Very cool, very cool. They will get you coffee, coffee, coffee. Limpisca says, good morning, all the in the chat. How did Star Wars US? Basically, completely dead. Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels that way, and it might be that they made a really cool show. It might be that they make a really cool movie, but the end of the day is they have attacked and alienated the fan base for so long that they're trying at this point in time they are trying to wade water and stay above the surface when they should be raking in the cash. Right, Disney had access to so many things. They had access to writers and actors of great repute. They had access to the best of everything, every single thing they could ask for in terms of creativity, and they had basically infinite money to dump into this thing. They shouldn't be trying to tread water. They should be kings at this point. They should be just raking in billions by the second. But no. All right. No, they're not. They're still trying to tread water and hoping and praying that their next Star Wars project is not sinking to the bottom of the sea. So stop being quirky. All right, stop being quirky. Stop trying to be woke or whatever, and stop being so worried about the exploitation of women or power imbalance or whatever. And just give Star Wars fans a good story, and stop trying to demonize 40-year-old men, 50-year-old men. All right, these guys have money, and these guys were at least were dedicated to Star Wars. All right. It's getting the same thing that happened with Stargate recently, right? It's like they canceled the Stargate movie or show or whatever they were making. Why? Because the executives at Amazon said, well, the way the movie was developing, we didn't really see it having an appeal outside of the dedicated fans of the show. I was like, shouldn't that be like the number one? It's how out of touch they are. Like if the movie is really good for the fans, then it's probably going to be really good for other people too. Like imagine making it for the fans of the show who are already dedicated. Now you have it's been how long since Stargate? You're going to get new people in who kind of think the same way and everything. And the Stargate was huge. It's not like the Stargate was some niche thing. Stargate was one of the huge, big sci-fi products. So the idea of it's just going to appeal to fans. What do you mean just going to appeal to fans? That's a lot of people that's appealing to. And you're going to bring in a new crop of fans who kind of think the same way and want the same thing as these guys did. They just will experience a new version of it. It's kind of it's sort of touch. No, we need the tumblerina popcorn people. We need the wackadoos Twitterati to chime in, right? That's kind of what their thing is. It's kind of weird. It's very out of touch, and they canceled it because it's just going to appeal to fans. It's just going to appeal to fans. Oh, can't have that, can we? Jenny says, good morning, all. Star Wars is so dead. Stormtroopers missed the funeral. Well, that's your thing. That's your thing. Let's see. The thing is to miss things, right? Mr. Shots. Shadowing Tronic says, good morning, all. Pretty sure Disney releasing the first movie in a pre-special edition form is Star Wars Force Ghost. Probably. And look, the reason why Star Wars is as alive as it is because of the original trilogy, and probably much to their chagrin, the prequels. The prequels are also there. The prequels are also pretty well liked in comparison, anyway. But here's the thing: the whole expose that they had, where it was exposed that Star Wars is being kept alive by the original trilogy, literally, not just because they've been exploiting the original trilogy to no end to get any sort of stability with the franchise that they bought, but because people are just watching the original trilogy en masse. Like the original trilogy from decades ago, decades ago, how long ago? It's almost a half a century ago, is topping their soy boy beta versions of Star Wars. So the Star Wars for the new generation chat turned out to be the Star Wars of the old generation. Pretty funny stuff. As much as they like to harp on new generation this and new generation that, new generation with a football bat, the old generation still tops the new one. It's just still so much better objectively. So much better. Let's see. There we go. 1 second here, chat. Good, set this up here. There we go. All right, almost done, chat. Almost done setting this up. Have a few more videos here lining up, but today's gonna be fun. Today's gonna be fun. We have a lot of things to go over. Let's see, chat. Oh man, it's crazy nonsense. It's crazy nonsense, but that's kind of why we're here today. Let's see. Seed Garden says, "Hi, LD and Best Chat. Back in a few provisions for breakfast are needed. Back in a few. Oh, yeah, you need breakfast. It's very important. Dr. Crow, Dr. Crow, good. Hi, LD. I've been looking into what happened to Alterna. Blood Realm and Red Koi left, claiming Pete wasn't paying an artist for a crossover between King Cryptic and Blood Realm. Yeah, some deal fell through. I know that. Pete says they aren't answering emails and are in breach of a contract, but ultimately no one seems to care and are being quiet about it. Yeah, he kind of mentioned things, but he's being quiet about it, and I don't know what's going on or how to help or whatever. I like Pete Samedi. He's pretty cool guy. He'd provide a lot of opportunities for a lot of artists. Like you can just like publish with him, and he'll just help you out and everything. I've been on stream with him a few times. He reached out a few times. It's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy. But he talked about like a deal going through, and I didn't really see much about it. I guess like the only way I know about him is because of Twitter. Like I keep up with him through Twitter, but I haven't really seen a lot of his posts or anything. So I mean, I would like to help if I can, or amplify him if I can, or something. But I don't know. I haven't heard much news about it. I just know that something bad is happening. Some deal fell through, and it's not looking good. And they could be going out of business, which I don't want to happen. Peter Samedi should not have that happen to him. He's too good of a person, too fantastic. Alterna was always like a champion for the indies, and unfortunately took on a lot of big egos. Turns out, like a lot of big egos on there. So hopefully it turns out all right, but it's not looking good. Turns out not looking good. But yeah, thanks for looking into that, Dr. Crow. Hopefully things turn out all right, and I can help soon. Heck, I can look into it. Maybe I can look into it. He does follow me. I follow him, so I can message him. And see, Card Catcher says, "One from Rumble Chat. Have you seen the fiasco over in Lego collection that was stolen from the dying old man?" Yeah, I've been looking into it myself, but other people have. We kind of went into it on the Shadiversity stream. It was kind of funny, and I was like, what?" Like it was funny, like this is so outrageous sounding. Like the guy had to flee his country because like he was the one with the Lego set was going to be arrested, and he had to like, flee to Mexico. Like it's like over Legos. It's crazy. See, Posthumus says, "Salut, Monsieur LD." At the super chat. Hello to you, Posthumus. Welcome. Letty Fastlet says, "Good morning, LD and Best Chat." Good morning. Hello to you. Greggy90 says, "Good morning, Triple Best Chat." I've been playing Destiny 2 and I finally got the last trophies. Achievements after several years of attempts. I'm pretty happy about it. Oh, fantastic. Well done, Gregory90, and congratulations. Congratulations on achievements well earned. Let's see. Hardy Boys was another victim. Was it? It's another victim? Let's see. The Hardy Boys, huh? Like if I says LD, they were doing it to everyone. Let's see. And see, I have a whole. I forgot which topic this was on, which was about the Telemarina thing, where they pressure people into changing their art. That seems to be what happens. I have a whole bunch of original Hardy Boys books. My 11-year-old. Oh, yes, that's it. Okay, yeah. It was the Hardy Boys books when I was talking about like how they go back and rearrange it and re-edit it, right? Oh, yeah. I think they did the Roald Dahl, and it was I knew it was something else, but apparently it was the Hardy Boys, right? That sounds familiar, where they kind of went in and rearranged things and made the Hardy Boys more soy and stuff. They made it more sad, sized, boring. But I do remember that now. Yeah, Levi says trying with the HP books. They're still bored halfway 4 and 5. Makes sense. I mean, I don't expect everyone to like it. I quite enjoyed it. I like the acting and everything. It's pretty cool. Like it's a pretty cool creative effort to me, and I did like the intrigue and stuff, and how much of a badass Hagrid is. I guess like, where did this come from? Like, why didn't they have this in the movie? That'd be pretty awesome to have like a badass Hagrid walking around. And see, Pog Pogger McPogster says it's unfortunate how the Mandalorian turned out. Not sure if we get into the story above Mando. So yeah, the Mandalorian was unfortunate because it should have just been like a monster of the week, right? It should have just been like every episode, or maybe it might be 2 episodes or something like that, whatever. But it should be like a series of tiny arcs, right? Every little storyline would be him going after a new bad guy. Probably in the first season, it would be new bad guy episode 1, new bad guy episode 2, new bounty, like every single episode. I think that would allow them to explore a little bit more into the character, into the world, without having to, because as as I always say with Brandon Sanderson, you get so many, technically speaking, you get so many a lot of points for your story. And so if they just kept it simple and just had the basic plot be story, the same story essentially, basic easy to understand story, nothing complicated here, just going after a new guy every episode, then that will allow them to branch out, right? They allowed to branch out. They allowed him that allow them more allotted points to put into the Mandalorian, the world around him, the people that he hunts down, and because it's not just like a person he hunts down and they put a lot of backstory lore into that guy and then he's dead or whatever and that's it. The lore and backstory they put into that guy remains, even if the guy is killed. What I mean by that is it gives their backstory, it gives the world more backbone because their backstory happened. And so therefore you can flesh out the lore and the backbone of the world around him through these characters. And it would have been such a better story, I think, and allow them to explore the world and flesh out the world a lot better. I mean, if they wanted to, like Luke Skywalker to come in or Ahsoka Tano to come in, they could do that. It could even be, they could even do this if they kept it local. But didn't even need to give him a ship. They could just have kept him on planet, like this one planet. Like make sure, like this, that'd be kind of cool, right? Season 1 could be about him, saving up money to get like some more upgrades. It's basically, like a video game, or him saving up money to get a ship. That would be my go-to. Like he would be saving up money to get a ship that allow him to like expand his what kind of bounties he could take. That'd be cool. Like he could stay with the guild. You can imagine like a scene where he walks into the bounty hunters guild, and it's like he knows people. There's that guy and that guy and that guy. They don't have to be necessarily main characters, like background characters, but background characters. In other words, imagine if they had Mandalorian, but it's written like Goblin Slayer. He just goes back and takes on the mission, comes back. We know the guy that gives him the quests. We know that guy. There's like some background characters like, oh, the Mandalorian. He has a rival in there. There might, background characters they interact with sometimes. It doesn't necessarily have to like impede on the story. Just like interact with them, right? That'd be kind of fun, especially when Grogu comes around or Baby Yoda comes around and he's like, just sticking with him. Like, oh, that's the guy with this guy with Baby Yoda. What the hell? Why does he have a kid with him? And pretty fun. I think it would have been way better if they kind of kept the plot more simple and we could just focus really on the world, the characters, and pretty much everything else around him developing. It's kind of what happened with DS9, by the way. With DS9, because we were in a station, right? Because we're in a stationary main place, we got to develop the culture of Bajor. We got to develop the culture of the world around DS9, the wormhole. We got to look into, deep dive into the culture of the Cardassians, a little bit more into the Klingons, things like that. It wasn't necessarily we had to make up a new race like every week. It was, hammered down on the Ferengi culture, which really got hugely expanded in DS9. So there is something to be said about a stationary story where you just kind of explored locally. I know it's cool. We have Star Wars, right? It's cool with the idea of you going to different planets and having this big epic story, but Mandalorian really shouldn't have been that. I don't think, right? It should have been. Heck, I wouldn't even give him a ship. I would have made it local, at least for the first season. So I think that would have been way better. It's unfortunate, and I think that the whole branching, like this galaxy hopping story, kind of ruined what it could have been. I think so. Anyway, Dumbledore says speaks calmly. He's supposed to. Like in the what was it? What was it? In the books, right? Hugh Laurie plays him, or in the full cast version, Hugh Laurie plays him. Let's see. Yeah, Hugh Laurie plays him, and he's very, very, very good at it. He's very calm. He always sounds like he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a little bit of silliness to him too. Pretty fun stuff. And so, just a fun fact: there was an anime centered around an acting troupe that focused on the theme of your version of X character. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. Very now. Tank Ferret. Hello to you, Tank Ferret. Welcome and welcome back. Tank Ferret is the newest member of the Lit Legion. Hello, hello, hello.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. See, Lady Faisal says we have some prime example of catering to audiences, Markiplier obsession, and back rooms. Yeah, look, it turns out if you just make something people like, yeah, like, here's the thing though, right? Here's the thing. A lot of these franchises or things like the back rooms or whatever, the audience will tell you what they want and what they like. Well, at least won't tell you directly, but you can kind of see blatantly. If you look in, like if the guy who makes the back rooms, it's not that hard to discern what makes the back room so popular. The idea of this being lost in an empty, maybe empty, endless office building, essentially that's the back rooms. There's liminal space. There's the corporate sanitized hell. And that's about it. And then all this stuff, like Markiplier making a movie about a game and everything that people like, and making it really cool. I kind of look like putting in the effort, right? Putting the effort to actually go in and see what exactly is the heart and soul of whatever he's doing. So, about the game. Why do people like this? Why do people like this game? What's so good about it? Why do fans like it? And you kind of discern that, and then you kind of go off of that, emphasize it, make it big, make it a big part of your movie. That's awesome. Like with Silent Hill, it's like if you want to make a Silent Hill movie, you kind of want to dive deep into psychological horror. Right? That's why people there, like not just like it's scary, but what does this mean? So if you want to make a really good Silent Hill movie, it's going to be about the main character encountering Silent Hill, and then the monsters and whatever he encounters in Silent Hill is going to be a reflection of his own psychology. That's what you want to lean into when it comes to Silent Hill. And see, for example, so that's kind of what you want to. That's what you want to hammer on, something like that. And see, but yeah, I'll really like Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, it was supposed to be Boba Fett, right? And for some reason, they just made the Mandalorian. But the cool thing about Boba Fett was that he was a bounty hunter. That's cool. So they should have kept when they made the Mandalorian. They should have kept him a bounty hunter. It doesn't have to be involved in all this galaxy spanning shenanigans. Just make him a bounty hunter. Keep him a bounty hunter. Goblin Slayer has so many stories where it's just him slaying goblins. He doesn't have to be involved in this overarching story to slay a demon king or anything all of a sudden. He just has to slay goblins every week. That's it. And it's pretty awesome. Insane. Hello, Tank Ferret says, good morning to all of you magnificent bastards and bastettes. Hello to Tank Ferret. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's David Duckworth says, I read all the Harry Potter novels, watched all the films. Once I'll never go back to that stuff. You get down once. Ben Parker says, good morning, LD. Saw the clip where you, Shad, and the other guy went to Lego Scandal. And it is wild. It is pretty insane. It's pretty crazy. I was like, I didn't know anything about the scandal. I was just listening to it. I'm like, what is all this? This is insane. How does all this happen over Lego sets? Let's see. That's a pretty crazy story. I wonder how it's going to span out. It's because the particular stream of Shad, it's kind of like the theme was stories that the people in power didn't want to get out were getting out. Because the first one was the Novak story where he was arrested after being stabbed. Meanwhile, the guy who stabbed him was like given treated with kindness and understanding, and he was believed. And he was sent to they let him pick out his own meal at the cafeteria. They gave him like back rubs or whatever and kisses and told him a story before he went to sleep. Meanwhile, the guy who was stabbed was arrested and mocked and laughed at by the police. And then they definitely don't want to get that story getting out because that'll be a huge blow against them. But it got out. It broke containment. And also the Lego story, they definitely didn't want that getting out, but it did, and it's good. Uh, it's very good. And of course, says, if a contract is breached, I assume lawyers are involved, and legally they can't say anything on either side. That is true. That is true. So hopefully, if there's a breach of contract, and it should be pretty simple for Pete to win, right? It should be. Hopefully. Let's see here, chat. Hello to you, Dave Musselman. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello to you, hello to you. Target says, no, the one who fled did not possess the Legos. He was trying to retrieve them from a scammer. To Mexico, though. He was to Mexico. Let's see. Where are we now? Razor Hammond says, I finally finished reading The Lord of the Rings for the first time of my God is better than the movie. I mean, yeah, because there's gonna be like a ton of stuff. So usually the book is way better because it goes into more detail. Like the books of Harry Potter were way better than the movie, like way better. In fact, without reading the books, the movies kind of suck towards the end there because they leave out so much stuff, and they will leave in it just happens. Like some of the stuff they leave in was built up and mentioned in the books. And you can see why they happen. And when they do happen in the books, like, okay, well, that's kind of set up a long time ago. But they just kind of cut out all that stuff from the movies. And when weird things happen in the movies, they just happen. Like, who cares about context? Ben Perkins, LD, have you read the Riverworld series? I don't think so. I don't think I've even heard of that. Let's see. Is it good? Is it a good fantasy? Let's see here, Chad. Let's see. Tyler says, good morning, everyone. Just got done walking the dog. Oh, welcome back, Tyler Preston. Hello to you. Let's see here, chat. Let me see here. Take says, take your pick as to what movies or series you're thinking about. Let's see. It could have been a good Hollywood story. Yeah, I think a lot of that's like a lot of modern day stuff could begin with, it could have been good. But Hollywood has taken a one-upsmanship all the way jumping to the shark to the Sharkmanship. The Sharkmanship. It's crazy. Yeah, so that I'm pretty sure the same attitude that the Amazon has, for example, is shared among a lot of these executives. Where it's just going to appeal to fans. Well, then we're going to cancel it. It's not worthy. It's not worth the effort if it's just going to appeal to fans, which is retarded. It would be retarded in any case because if you're making a movie and you're worried it's not going to result in mass wide appeal, then just make it a cheaper movie. But really, you could, like, it begins with the fans. Like if you make it for the fans, they love it. It's going to spread, and people are going to word of mouth. There's no better advertisement than word of mouth. Or they're used to spending millions in advertising, but really, there's no better advertising than word of mouth. There just really isn't. That's kind of why you get like little movies that are really good and people love it, and then there's word of mouth and they get a huge fan base or they become a cult classic or something. It makes something people like, then that is better than anything that they can come up with. And this is true everywhere. It's like this organic appeal is far more valuable than bought and purchased appeal. And we saw that with the presidential election, right? Twice. The mainstream was like, was pouring billions and millions and millions and millions and billions into these women. Like first was Hillary Clinton, and then second it was Kamala Harris. They were just absolutely abhorrent. It's horrible candidates, and they were spending so much money to make them popular and make them seem popular. But Trump was organically popular, and he ended up winning twice, both times, by a much wider margin. Second time around, it's a Norman Man looks at the five. Super Chat says Mando ought to have been a Monster of the Week show with a slow burn plot unfolding over a season. Exactly, that's kind of what it should have been. It should have been a Monster of the Week, in this case, Bounty of the Week, with an overarching, like a slow discovery of some conspiracy, kind of like they did with Apothecary Diaries, right? They should, how the Apothecary Diaries is kind of like you get a new mystery kind of every episode, and then at the final end of season 1, we get like it all comes together. Like, whoa, wait a minute, this is the why we got this, and this is why we got that, and that's where this comes from. And then we find out there was this a long burn big play to assassinate the emperor. It was pretty insane. It should have been that. There's little pieces like a main story and then a little piece of a larger story. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been. It's a Lady Festa says, fun fact, I started reading HP fan fiction as a form of rebellion after I was ambushed by an HP fan. I refuse to waste time and money on this book series. You fan love instead enjoy free stories. That's kind of what I did with Avatar: The Airbender, but only because when I was getting into Avatar: The Airbender, only the first 2 seasons were out. I was like, I need more of this. So that's why the first time I read fan fiction was Avatar: The Airbender fan fiction, and only because like I gotta see what other people are writing and stuff like that. I need more Avatar: The Airbender to satiate me until the season 3 comes out. Let's see. All right. And one LD saw the backroom setup was good, but the second half was a letdown. And I wonder because I was wondering where they would go, because the main appeal of the backroom was that you're just wandering around empty space. I assume like when you make a movie, you have to make a story to the movie. There has to be some human element, I think. So I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I was wondering how they would do that without ruining the whole setup. And say, Car the Tolkien Nerds is generally speaking, books are see ya. Let's see. Usually books are a lot more detailed, a lot better. They can do more stuff in the books because they have a lot more room. David Muscle Manila to use is that in this book style with an overarching story. Where have I seen that before? Oh yeah, Cowboy Bebop, perhaps. Also, there's my other favorite cyberpunk series is Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex does that. Right. In fact, they did this so well. They kind of they put the 2 biggest arcs, I think, in movie form. I think the first one being the Puppet Master. I think no, the Laughing Man. Laughing Man. Puppet Master is from the movie. The Laughing Man arc. They put that in like a summary, like all the episodes pertaining to the Laughing Man. They put that all together in like a compilation. They did the same thing with the Individual 11 arc. So yeah, they have that there too. It's like every episode is a little piece, investigative piece into a much larger, grander scheme. But each piece in and of itself is a mystery, his own little story. So I mean, it works really well, and they should have done that with the Mandalorian. I think it's a Normal Man, this additional $5 super chat. Yes. I'd say I heard the Emperor in 40K blinked, and fans are going nuts. Wait, they blinked? He blinked? Anyway, can't wait to see how Space King spoofs this. So wait, but they had him blink? That's gonna be pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I mean, the thing is, in Space King though, they're looking for Space King, so I don't really know how they're going to spoof the blinking, because like he would have to be there, right? He would have to come in. Maybe like someone sees him and they all go rushing toward where he was or something. I can see that being the case. Ben Parker says, River World series is Philip Jose Farmer and starts with a novel titled To Your Scattered Bodies Go. Very interesting. Very interesting. Hammer Spoon 3 says, based fan fiction pilled. Hammer's my beloved. What about My Immortal? That's a good Harry Potter fan fiction, right? And the one says, I have heard people complain about Cowboy Bebop because the episodes were too disjointed. And I thought you didn't pay attention. So with Cowboy Bebop, right? It was the beginning kind of, it's just an assortment of adventures, essentially. A lot of them are. And then gradually you find out that, oh, we had little hints built in, little snippets of backstory every once in a while in these episodes, and boom, it launches into the backstories are very important now. So, by the way, same thing happens in Samurai Champloo. Or we begin with Fu wrangling in Mugen and Jean on her quest to go seek out the samurai smells of sunflowers, and And over the course of the story, we get more backstory on Mugen, more backstory on Jean, more backstory on Fu, and eventually things start coming to a head, and we're getting they're getting in trouble with the government and stuff like that. And we find out that Fu's dad is like this major Christian rebellion leader, and it becomes a lot crazier. And they end up fighting like the God's Hand. It's it's pretty insane. But same thing happens with Cowboy Bebop, happened with Samurai Champloo, but they kind of leave it towards the end there, and as little background hints. Meanwhile, we're having fun with these crazy adventures and the mushrooms and the gay dude from Holland, all that stuff. Anyway, chat, we got a guest in the back room. Let's see what this could possibly be. Where is it? Here it is. Hello, Glib.
Yes, hello. I was wondering if you could play that song again.
Fantastic. We definitely could play this again. Welcome, Glib.
Thank you, SpongeBob.
It's a Ballad of the Fallen Angel is best episode of I think it's one of the more highlighted episodes because it kind of echoes a shift, or it kind of brings a shift into the whole storyline that, whoa, this is big. Like, this is a big major escalation in the lore as opposed to just an episodic adventure. And I was saying that this is kind of what Mandalorian should have been. Every episode's a crazy adventure about going after some new bounty. And then every once in a while, you get an episode that really expands on the lore, really heightens the stakes. Ballad of Fallen Angel does that for Cowboy Bebop. Let's see. 2 days in a row. Yeah, it's Glib. 2 days in a row. Absolutely. We're blessed.
It's already been 2 days?
It's been 2 days.
I've been drunk for 2 days?
Almost.
Not yet.
But not yet, though. Not yet. All right, make sure we got this. All right. Okay, get this all up here. So we're getting close to the end of Smiling Friends, of a watch of Smiling Friends. We're in season 3. We're deep into season 3. So let me go ahead and update this. For today, chat. For today. All right. Get this and this and this. So, chat. So, let's get to, let me update this and let us get to the cringe. There we are. All right. So here we go. So I thought we could start off with this because I thought it was really funny. It's a little short, but I saw this and I immediately thought of the phrase "become ungovernable." Check this out.
Hello, what can I get you for today?
Hey, I'll just have a double patty burger, fries, and a Sprite.
And you want all that to be a meal?
No,
You want it all to be individual?
I don't want the meal.
Sir, it'll save you
I
money.
don't want to save money.
Why would you?
What's your small and large drink size?
15 and 30 ounces.
I'll take 2 small drinks.
Sir, are those both for you? Sir, then why don't you just get a large? You can
Because I
say.
don't want to save nothing.
I don't want to save money. All right.
Why, sir?
Does that scare you? Does it scare you that you don't understand?
Sir, please.
Does it scare you to know that both of our lives have led up to this one moment in time of complete anarchy? Does it scare you that you don't know why I don't want to save money, or does it scare you that you don't feel in control? Control.
Become ungovernable.
Sphere.
I just get paid minimum wage, sir.
Can I also have 2 ketchup packets?
Hello, what can
Yeah, absolutely, sir. You could have 2 ketchup packets. It'll be 50 cents each, though. I know. Got to pay for that. But I saw that as like becoming ungovernable. I don't want to save money.
Didn't they ban ketchup packets in the UK or something recently?
I don't know. I haven't heard about that. Have they? I see like something the UK would do because you can use a ketchup packet as a weapon, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Let's see. Anyway, chat. Anyway, here's this new kerfuffle on Twitter involving men's really high standards for fantasies. Fantasy wife. Check this out. So basically, this is the meme. The meme is she loves you. She loves spending time with you. She communicates and supports you. And this is kind of this. That was the entire meme, and this caused untold havoc on Twitter.
Here. So it seems like every couple of weeks we see something like this posted on social media, and it triggers the most miserable users you will ever see. So in this example posted a few months ago, this artist expressed the ideal woman and the very high standards they're requesting. Those high standards being some.
I think the mistake of this artist that he made he or she made the woman blonde, because I know for a fact that the Twitterati see blonde and think porn, they think conservative, they think Republican, they think right wing. So every time they see a blonde, because I've noticed that every single time they see a blonde character or something like that, they say right wing, porn brain, or gooner bait. Like what's it called? That one game that's about knights and it's in the medieval era. They posted like one of the female characters who's just like dressed normally and is just kind of pretty and smiling, but she has blonde hair, and like, oh, this is gooner bait somehow. And they see blonde hair and they themselves are so porn brained. It just takes seeing blonde hair.
Even that. It's like they're like it seems like everybody's forgotten that there's like a humanity to humanity. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you're not blonde and you see a blonde girl and you're like, oh man, all these guys want the blonde girl and I'm not blonde, then it's jealousy. Like, I don't understand where this is all, why things have been like systemized and itemized that are invalid, if that makes sense. Like we don't even address personality or people anymore. It's just like, oh, this is a system of something, and it's all just like an obfuscation of how people actually are. People aren't like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they see. Well, I mean, it's not. I guess not so that surprising then, because these people just see traits. They see black. They see blonde. They see, voting categories.
Well, they think it means something. They think being something is like meaningful in and of itself.
And not just meaningful, but everything. Like I just said yesterday. Like, what I mentioned, your whole identities is what you do with your junk.
Well,
imagine yesterday. Your entire identity is what you do with your weird penis. Your weird looking hideous penis.
Well, this all comes from this is all like the digital era of stuff. You know what I mean? It's somehow it's okay to have all these categories where you can judge people and it has nothing to do with their decision making. But then as soon as you start judging people for their decision making, then it's like, no, don't judge me. And I just think it's interesting. It all just seems fake to me. But we have to act like it's real. The idea that I have to respect someone's systemic opinion about something because they think that there's some appeal to authority. It's like, no, I don't. So what's next? And they don't have anything after that.
Oh, okay. I refuse your reality. What's next?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, what's next? I don't know. Get married.
They're following a list. That's what I mean. I think they're kind of like following that list, like Tyler Durden's dad is following the list of like, I don't know, get a job. I don't know, go to college. They're following a list. You're racist. Okay. What's next?
Yeah, I don't care. Once you say you don't care, then what? Then it's like, no, you have to care. It's like a struggle session with the communists.
It's like, you're a Nazi. I don't care about that either. All right, what's next?
Yeah, okay.
Get a job. You want. touch grass. But
it's one of those. It's one of those things where it's like they want to label something and then they want to exclude that label, and you're like, that's interesting, but I can't do that to you. So it's a power struggle. Okay. But we can't admit that it's a power struggle. We can't admit that people have sort of like bases for what they're doing that has nothing to do with the premise, if that makes sense. Everybody's been talking about that the new God of War game that's coming out, and it was
written by this one streamer lady or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like all the female characters in these Western games now are ugly, and
they're not allowed to be pretty. Yeah,
they're not allowed to be pretty because the people that are making them are not pretty. Do you see what I'm saying? Like they're ugly, and so they want the character to be ugly. And it's not it's not an ideal. It's not a moral situation. It's not like, oh, this is equitable. No, it's personal avarice, it's personal hatred, it's personal insecurity. It's all personal. It's not political. But they make it political because that's the only way that they can have power coming from their frustrations. That's what that is.
Right.
And I just see that in everything.
and insecurities, as you said yesterday too, like the insecurities all stems from insecurities is when where they kind of push them on us, like, oh, you're an incel, but you're insecure because you can't get a girlfriend or can't get a boyfriend or whatever. You're insecure because you don't have any power. That's one of the other things too. Like the white men are afraid because they're losing power or something like that. Men are afraid because the women are taking over. They say this stuff, so it's their own insecurities tossed at us, but it all stems from their own insecurities. Let's see. S7 says, what would happen if these wokies lose their social media privileges? They are losing them too, quite a bit. They are not nearly as powerful as they were in 2015, 16. Not nearly.
Someone who loves and supports their man. I know it seems like the bar is so low it's in hell, but we see a lot of relevant memes like this that express what a lot of men are simply asking for, and that is love and supports. But that standard is often not met. In fact, those seeking that very basic standard are often mocked and ridiculed. And that would happen again when this user reposted that artwork recently with the caption, "My extremely high standards for a wife." And you can see the description. She loves you, communicates, she loves spending time with you, and supports you. I know, very high standards, but to sum up hundreds of negative quotes and responses, it's a bunch of unhinged feminists primarily who are seething about this unrealistic set of standards, and they're using it as an opportunity to not only attack the original poster here, but also,
I hate you, hope you die. I want a wife who'll love me. Out there, that's too high a standard. That's unreasonably high standards.
Men generally. You're going to see a lot of common themes from the individuals posting this stuff. So here's one quote from this individual. They begin by saying, "High standards for a wife, and she has no personality, no desires, no existence outside of him." Now, of course, this is a massive.
What? She has no personality. Where does that come from? What do you mean no personality and no desire outside of him? Also, isn't this exactly what women are reading in romantasy? It's like this big awesome dude who has no desire or views outside of the main character. But this is not what he said. This is like the wife should love you and like spending time with you and communicates with you and supports you. You could do that and have a personality and desires. In fact, that is a personality. I mean, she's nurturing and caring as well.
Self-report. If you see a woman who supports their man or husband, and you think that means she has no person,
these are the same for the same people who made up a term called man keeping, which essentially means that is what happens when a girlfriend or a wife listens to her husband or boyfriend's concerns and interests, and takes on his emotional pain. Basically, if he confines in a woman and she starts catering and supporting his emotional burdens or whatever, that's man keeping. So these people made terminology like this. I'm not surprised that they have this reaction.
Well, I mean,
these simple requests.
People are born into this world, and it's like the world already has rules to it. Like it has a parameter to it. There's no perfection. It's a continuous, just like evolving, expanding universe, right? And these people want to square off every edge and assume that they can create a utopian outcome from it. And so in their mind, they have this fantasy. And when reality doesn't meet the fantasy, they blame other people for that. And it's like, no, you just need to understand that you're delusional about the reality that we're in. And what people want is something that is good and productive to themselves. So when you're criticizing this, like, oh, I want a wife that's like, I want an attractive wife, and I want to have a good family. If you're criticizing that, it's like, what else is there? What else? How much is there to life? Actually, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the Grand Canyon? You're going to fucking sip some water on a cruise ship? Like, how many things in life are actually there? Yeah. And then you also have a small amount of time to enjoy it. So it's like, okay, I'm going to get this done. And then what? And then what? That's all. I just keep coming back to the same thing. And then what? Okay, you get what you want. And then what? Are you going to be happy now? Probably not, right? Because it's never ending.
Yeah.
There's always something else.
these outrages are so insane, especially because like they do the same thing with a lot of media coming out today, where it's just like if they just it could be just completely wholesome, like with the that one game where you protect a kid. It's just she's a blonde kid, so you know, uh, it's a blonde kid, so it must be predatory in some way. Hold on, one sec, one sec.
He's got to go. His coffee's ready. He's got to put some milk in it. I would really, really like it if we could have some sanity in our culture again, where it's just like there's some recognition of reality as not being this perfectly, landscaped lawn or something like that, because that's not what it is. We create order out of whatever reality is, and everything is always shifting around us. There's not really like a solid basis for what we're doing other than what we know about the world. So if we're adjusting to the circumstances that the world gives us, then we shouldn't be forced to sit there with a bunch of ideologues and idealists who are there and telling us, oh no, actually reality should be this way. And I'm like, I can't change that. I can't change the inverse square law of radiation. I can't change the amount of energy that comes out of oil, or what is required to keep bugs from eating all my crops. Like that's what we're up against, are these people that think that food comes from the grocery store, not realizing all of the labor that has to go into it. And we have this top-down view of everything. Everybody is in their own little corner on the internet, little echo chamber, where they assume that they have the right people. And if we just had power, then we could make it perfect. And it's this road to hell that keeps being paved over and over again with new versions of the same thing. A new flag gets put down. But ultimately, it all comes out to being the result is going to be real. It's not going to be ideal. And so I think we need to get back to that reality where it's like we're paying attention to what's happening and we're reacting to it and we're planning towards that, as opposed to everything being ideological and trying to avoid all of the uncomfortable details. Like I've been studying a lot recently about the Soviet Union and all of its flaws. And it's mostly been because I've been studying nuclear energy recently. And you can see that in a state that's ideologically captured, like the Soviet Union, they have like 3 to 4 times more radiological incidents than America does over the same amount of time. And then it gets even crazier when you realize that like China or North Korea, they also have nuclear programs. But how are you going to know if North Korea ever had a Chernobyl, right? Because underneath their ideological umbrella, they are totally secretive, but we share the same planet. So there's this weird intersection, I feel like, where people have this fantasy in their head about what things are supposed to be like or what they want, and then they have to deal with other people. And there's a disconnect there. And that's why it's so interesting to watch all these video game things and these movies that come out and people have these arguments, and they're all ideological arguments. It's like, the backroom stuff and obsession, and people are pointing out, oh, these are 2 young white straight males and they're making this stuff, and then somebody's going to want to react to that inherently just because of the identity politics that are associated with that, as opposed to just appreciating that it's good overall for the business that there are people that want to go and watch these movies, because their personal power, and this goes for corporate people or commissars or whatever, religious people too, this applies to all of them. They have a sense that they want a personal power. And to reference Louis C.K., there's this thing where people don't even want to be second best at something, or they don't want to have the second option. They want the first thing. They only want what they want. And so every time that there's a conflict between that, the conflict mediation becomes a competition between 2 people, both wanting the primary thing and unwilling to compromise. And then when you look at the history of the world, you go, holy shit, there's so many instances where disasters happened because people could not make some sort of empathetic or sympathetic or any kind of peaceful deal. We had to fight it out. And in so many instances where this has happened, there's been these little blocks, you know what I mean? Where it's like somebody has, like, for example, when Stalin died, there was Americans that were offering to, they were using American equipment, but they didn't want it to get out that American medical equipment had a superior advantage to the Soviet equipment. So there couldn't be any kind of joint effort. But then later, when there were big incidents that happened, For example, like when the Kursk submarine in 2000 sank, the Norwegians offered to come and help because they had a lot of deep sea expertise. But because the Russians were so concerned about losing secret information or whatever, they wouldn't let Norwegian divers into the Kursk itself. So they had to deliberate, while men were lying on the bottom of the ocean, dead or whatever, or in the back of a compartment, there had to be a high-level political discourse about, is it okay if we show people this submarine? And it's like, you have all these secrets, but your submarine sank. So what are we doing here? And I just see that a lot of the time where there's a tension that the outcome is worse for everybody that's not involved. And it's centered around power constraints. And that's the thing that's so frustrating about being in the industry right now. Like I'm in Hollywood or Los Angeles or whatever. And there's a ton of evidence that there are companies that are long-standing pillars of the community, like a costume company that's been around for 100 years, or there's been a prop storage company or whatever, and they're going out of business because they're moving all of the film stuff out of Los Angeles because it's too expensive to film here. And that's because of the Democratic political agenda to make everything too expensive to do anything. So Hollywood is falling apart. And yet at the same time, they're ideologically captured by these ideas of we need to do this, it needs to be woke, it needs to be that. And everything just keeps getting worse. So like, it's frustrating to me because I know you guys have been paying attention maybe for the last 10 years or whatever. And there's all these situations where you guys, me, Mauler, Literature Devil, Critical Drinker, whoever, Nerdrotic, they've all been calling out, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. And everybody knows it's a bad idea. And yet it still happens. And then when there's a disaster, they blame the fans. They blame the audience for not showing up. It's like, no, everybody told you ahead of time that this was a bad idea. And everybody just hand waved it. And so then when the disaster happens, it's the little guy that suffers. And that's the same story that I've seen in all these ideological situations where there's always a suffering person that happens because somebody's hubris is out in the wild doing whatever it wants because it's a personal egotistical affront to their sense of their sense of self and also their position in a company. Like I'm sure you guys all know about the OceanGate submarine stuff, right? Like if you go and you look at Stanton Rush or whatever the guy's name is, he was before the OceanGate, the Titan thing fell apart on the bottom of the sea floor. There were a ton of situations where the company was obfuscating engineers that were within the own company, saying like, hey, this is structurally falling apart. This hull is fatigued. Don't use a carbon fiber composite. Don't do this, don't do that. And if you watch Rush, he's like, oh, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. All of that engineering, all of that 100 years or so of people making submarines and submersibles and all the conventional wisdom, we don't need that. And so that guy died and took a bunch of people with him because he didn't think that he needed to do the required amount of work to keep that up. And that's the crazy thing that I see in entertainment and in government and in everything that's happening. Because, the consequences are always borne out on us, the average person, the average, the worker or the citizen, whatever you want to call it. Because all that matters to the people that are running these things is themselves. And that's the thing that's so crazy to me about all this entertainment media stuff and woke agenda people or whatever. It's their ego versus all of our collective ability to reject something. And that's why they are so, I honestly think that's why they're against the marketplace. Because if you have a marketplace of ideas, if you have a marketplace of products, if you have a marketplace of tools or whatever it is that you need personally as a purchaser or as a worker or as a business owner, you're going to buy the cheapest, best, longest lasting quality thing with customer service, right? Am I wrong about that? So everybody wants that, but that doesn't serve the interest of the person that's running a corporation whose pension or their bonuses require them by law now to provide the corporation with growth that never ends. So in my opinion, there's something weird about how this quote unquote capitalist system that we live in is analogous to the Goss plan of the Soviet Union, where they have quotas that they have to meet. or DEI stuff where we have to have X amount of this, we have to have this many Latinos, we have to have this many gay people, we have to have this many trans people. All of that is the same structurally inadequate foundation for producing something. And yet again, we have to suffer for that. We have to drink the high fructose corn syrup. We have to, buy the John Deere tractor that we can't repair ourselves, or we have to buy the lithium ion battery car that you can't repair and it's expensive for the battery replacement. So it's not even, and this is the problem that I have, chat, and I wonder what you guys think about it. But it's like, I don't know how to deal with, how to fix that problem when the problem is an internal parasitic egotism, where it's like, I'm special and I'm important, like Jensen Huang or whatever for NVIDIA. He comes out on stage, or the chat GPT people, they come out on stage and they're saying, you're not going to own anything. You'll just use AI for everything. You're going to do this. And they're telling you how you're going to live. Meanwhile, they have so much money, they can live however they want. That's not a political thing. It's not even ideological. It's something that we don't define in our culture. Because it's not like a group oriented thing. It's this person is just entirely selfish and they feel like they can push on you whatever they think is right. I don't even know what it is, if you guys have a word for it. But I think that's the core problem with our civilization. So I think that there's the crazy thing is that everybody that's involved in an entertainment business or a gaming business or whatever it is, they're all facing the same institutional, illogical nonsense. And I don't know what we can do about that as people, because if they're excluding us from the financial aspect of it, if they're saying like it doesn't matter that we're not buying the product and they're still getting funds from ESG banks or whatever, or they're printing money, it almost seems like everything is sort of on a conveyor belt towards disaster. But nobody can stand in front of it and go, hey, why don't we stop making garbage? Why don't we not do this? Because each of those individuals is benefiting personally from it. So that's the thing that I find really interesting about it. And I think that also applies to the way that people make their personal choices in their life. I think there's a cynicism there. But I don't know, chat. What do you think about that? Let's see here. Yeah, the same way when the Blizzard guy was like, don't you have phones? Well, that's the funny thing, right? You put out a product and you assume everybody else has to behave as though what the company it's almost like they're telling you, go and do this, not, hey, do you want this? Is there something mainstream that still works like that? Because what I see is that only individual leaders of companies that they've created, like a Gabe Newell, for example, he's in charge of Valve. So Valve operates under Gabe Newell logic. But you have companies that are out there like Ubisoft or whatever, and there's not really a person that's in charge of it. It's this sort of institutional feudalism where they're trying to knock a couple money off. You know what I mean? Dr. Christmas says, I think Stu is more uplifting. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I don't really have, I'm not really like an optimistic person. I'm sort of I just notice things. I'm more of a noticer. And then I just want to, because I think that what needs to be done in society is I think people need to stop being emotional about what's going on and be more logical about it. Because I think the emotional connection we have, like to say Star Wars, to talk about the theme of the stream that we're on right now. The idea that Star Wars is dead, if it hurts your feelings, then it makes you act a different way than if you just logically go, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. We saw that was going to happen. Didn't you notice that was going to happen? And I think that we need more of that in our society, because that's the kind of thing that prevents a Chernobyl. That's the kind of thing that stops somebody from making a large mistake, like a cascading set of failures. It's the Swiss cheese model. So it's not about, like, here's what I'm saying. In The Simpsons or in any of those sitcom style shows, you need to wade through the pain and the suffering in the middle so that when the ending comes and you can get that uplifting thing, that has more impact. But it always wants to end there. That's where we always want to be. So I could be super cynical about something, but I still believe that we can have good things happen. It's just that you have to change the part that I'm cynical about. You have to change that fundamental breakdown that's happening. And people know what they want, and they become more aware of it the less that they get it. And that changes the foundation of what everybody's doing. So like, I would love to see more movies made on film. Is that likely? Probably not, because it's not a safe bet as a digital camera being used. But as more and more people see how movies look these days and don't like it, the demand happens. And then when somebody actually breaks through artistically and they can make that product, they get rewarded for it. And I think that's why Backrooms and A24 worked out so well. And I think that's why the selling point for them is, look, we have a young filmmaker. Look, it's something that you recognize. It's not a franchise. It's something that is in the zeitgeist of the culture. And they're doing what they want to do. And they're building real sets. And it's not too expensive. And it's making a ton of money compared to something like Mandalorian and Grogu, where they're going to blame the fans because the fans aren't getting what they want. And they're going to call it fan service when it's not fan service. So I think that there's something to the idea that if we're in the middle of something, then it's probably a good idea to not be emotionally looking for the uplifting part until you see that the change is actually happening. Then you can be confident about that. But I look at it and I get into arguments with my family because I have family that's in the business all the time. And whenever I hear about the next thing that's coming down the pipeline, I look at it and I go, this is what's going to save the business? Really? This is what it's going to be? Another Avatar movie, that's what's going to save us? Glib. NVIDIA and those greedy businesses, in essence, quoting the temptation of turning stone to bread, especially AI and utopia, not owning anything. No wonder man doesn't live with bread alone. Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because I think that there's something spiritual about there's obviously something spiritual about the state of existence. We're not just blocks. We're not just Boolean logic systems that just take in data and spit out data. We're obviously I think every human being has a calling to something. I couldn't tell you what your purpose is on this planet, why we're here. I couldn't answer all of these big questions, but I do think that we have a sensibility of that, and that's what gives our lives meaning. And you could say like when a father or a mother sees their child for the first time, it changes the way they view the world, or the pain and suffering of losing people, or the feeling of accomplishment when you do something that you've always wanted, or when you get something that you've always wanted because you worked for it. There's a satisfaction that comes from that. And I think it's interesting that art and story, which is what conveys that, it's what reminds us of that. It's a treatise on the nature of existence as we see it. Whenever we see characters winning, it's not, at the end of the movie, we don't care that James Bond has an Aston Martin. We just want him to win the war against the bad guys. And I think that is the disconnection that we have, is that we in our real lives, we want more spiritual satisfaction and less injection of just garbage data and junk data and angry tweets and stuff like that. So I think that the AI bubble turning into, like, I think they're trying to memory hole the fact that they said that AI was going to replace everybody and change civilization forever, and it hasn't met the mark. So they're just going to kind of slowly move away. You can already see it in our culture. They realize that you can't replace a person for cheaper when you have to spend the money on the energy yourself. So anyway, I was just trying to keep the stream going, Mr. Dev.
You did a good job. Thank you much, Glib. Appreciate it. It was a big call. Let's see.
He got the call.
Because you love Sunbringer says the thing that thing you were talking about is the original sin, by the way. It's inherent to much any secular leader, just not just political leaders, by the way, with lots of influence. They inevitably believe they are God.
Well, what's funny is that I like the Deus Ex quote from I don't remember which AI says it, but the AI is like, God was a dream of good government. And then in Dune, there's the saying where it's like, the question of, I don't remember exactly the quote, but it's like the question of leadership and politics is who's going to play God. And
Yeah.
my friend is pretty convinced that ideology is bad because ideology is always playing God. And so I think that there's that recognition. It's like, wait a minute, I'm just a human being. I'm not like, just because I have 100 million, $100 billion or whatever, that doesn't make me better than everybody else. It doesn't, I'm still meat. You know what I mean? I'm still the
Yeah.
same decaying organic matter as everybody.
And see. And see. Shay Durag says, as long as a dish has chicken in it, I'll definitely enjoy it. Oh, so you won't like anything. Yeah, exactly. That was it. Oh, so you don't like pork or beef? That is that kind of definitely the attitude that they have over here. Is just, oh, I do like a chicken dinner. Oh, so you don't like pork or beef? What was the other one that they had the meme of? It was like someone said something like I don't like pancakes. Oh, or I love pancakes. Oh, so you don't like waffles? Like, no, that's a whole other conversation.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I saw that was like a guy made a meme about that. But let's see. Ali Feza says, imagine the Avatar movies were rewritten and shot as Michael Crichton movie. That'd be kind of crazy. That'd be pretty cool, though, I would say.
Personality, you're just telling on yourself at that point. Also, this is a meme, okay? They don't need to literally fill the entire page with every single trait that they want a woman to have as a wife. Also, again, someone like this intentionally misunderstanding the basic point is a meme in it of itself. And then you look at the accounts, right? You can see Princessa here, who definitely does not have a prince, okay? It seems like a lot of projection. When you keyword search something like men on the accounts of feminists like this, it is eye-opening. It's kind of shocking and deranged. It's ironic because in their quotes, they're saying that this woman has no existence outside of men. But it seems like these individuals, their entire existence is hating on men. And you can see posts like this again, demonizing men, because apparently a man proposing is clipping the wings of women.
Oh, yeah, I saw this meme too. It's just like in the 21st century, like, oh, she accepting it. She's like, just hold on, let me get rid of this. Clipping the wings. It's women will just, affecting marriage is losing your flight, losing your pathway to happiness or whatever. I've seen this also, where they equate a woman being in marriage as a woman losing her identity and all this stuff. In one of those like Twitter style ways. But yeah, it's kind of how it goes. They have this attitude that a woman with a man is, it's like it's poison. Like a man is poison in a woman's life, essentially.
And this is men in the 21st century. And when someone says you're going to die of old age, a crazy cat lady, they say, don't threaten me with a good time. Here's another quote saying, notice how it's all about the male and nothing about the woman herself.
Well, yeah. It's a male's fantasy. This is like what a man wants. It's going to be about what he wants. Yeah.
Males are incapable of love. They only know how to exploit and steal women's lives. So apparently, if a woman loves you as a man, you have exploited her and stolen her life. Oh, and also you're incapable of love. I mean, there is so much sadness in this post, like just genuine sadness. And you look at the account. I mean, what are you going to do for an individual like this? Again, keyword searching men was diabolical on this account, and you can just tell, like,
you go over there and just keyword search on her account the word men. You play about men all day.
I just think this person hates men. I mean, and has some
it's not even
deep-seated issues.
It's not that they hate men. It's that they hate being women. Like they don't like the idea that they are a woman.
Because what was it that they want all the male positions? They want to look like men. They want to be treated as men, have the same personality as men, be as aggressive as men, things like that. They want everything that men they believe men have privilege to. What they said.
Well, it's like, okay, you're a man. You don't have a period. You don't, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to have baby. So it's like all resentment. But men are like, it's like that Mad Men thing where the guy's like, I pity you. And then
Oh, yeah.
Sean is like, I don't think about you at all. That's what being a
think
man
about
is
you
like.
at
He's
all.
like, I don't give a fuck about that.
It's kind of why a lot of men don't really care about this. Like, oh yeah, whatever. It's kind of why a lot of men have capitulated. Like, oh yeah, you feeling off or odd, then that's fine. I'll capitulate. A lot of men have that attitude because men have this like, internalized power. You have the strength. Like, okay, I don't mind stepping aside or sacrificing to make you feel better, which is good. It is a good male trait. However, it is something that can be exploited and has been exploited. And it's kind of how we get a lot of people coming into franchises that don't have the best interests in mind for the franchise. It's a Golden Reaper next to the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. It's a Golden Reaper says, that's funny. Men think marriage is a cage for him, and in general is more of a risk for men, especially in a divorce where courts cater to women more. And I think so.
They don't care. Like, it's not about that. It's about them inside, how they feel about themselves. And they're just projecting it outwards. They're like, when a woman marries a man, she gives away. And it's like, dude, the whole point of life is that you're not going to live forever. You have this tiny window of opportunity for each like era that you're in of your life. Like, you have this small window to be a child. You have this small window to be a teenager. You have this small window to be in your 20s, small window to be in your 30s. You're not going to live forever. What are you going to do with your life? Are you going to have kids? Are you going to get married? What are you going to do? Like, and then you use that frustration that you have, that you're this temporal being, an ephemeral thing that's born into this time period in this place in the world. And what? Are you going to complain to God about it? What is that going to do? That's what all this is. It's this existential dread thing where you're trying to cope about the fact that you're a living being, and you want to take it out on other people that you were born like this. I didn't make you a woman. I didn't make men. I didn't do anything. So what's your fucking problem?
But yeah, there is a big advantage in the first world for women, like a ton of advantages. And they just keep complaining over and over again. Like this, like every single time a man does have some sort of like standard or even he's not a certain, like this whole thing that sparked it was just a male fantasy. Is this traits he wants in a woman? That's it. And then this is like, how dare you want this? How dare you want your wife to love you? That's too much.
Was
Let's see, especially in divorce where courts cares. Yeah, they do, especially in America. It's the woman has so many. I heard a lot of stories where it's like these two people might be going through a divorce, and the lawyer for the wife will just like send women to the husband to see if he's like cheats or something like that, right? And then they'll report back and say, "Oh, look, he was infidelity," and then she would get more. Like they'll set up the guy to get more dirt on him, to more leverage on him. Like they'll do that. It's crazy, but it's so easy to buy into that. And she goes to court crying a little bit, and boom, the guy loses all of his rights.
Yep.
Let's see.
diabolical.
By the way,
on this,
Aluminum Fences says, I feel like Glib is telling me to stop watching the stream, go work out, and start a 401k. Well, you can watch the stream and do those things.
And work out. That's cheating. Yeah, absolutely.
counts, and you can just tell. Like, I just think this person hates men and has some deep-seated issues that they're projecting online. And don't bring this up in their replies because they hid manually every single thing trying to counter the points they're making. This is deranged, ladies and gentlemen. But then here's some more replies to the original post saying, if this girlie had all those qualities and you wouldn't date her, then you and all the men being censored, by the way, agreeing / pretending to only want to be loved are just LARPing. I gotta be honest with you, that was a tough read. Start to finish, tough read. Work on your sentence structure. But what is this supposed to be? Can I ask the question? Is this supposed to be you? Is this supposed to be like an own, threatening, something? I don't understand. It's hard to take someone seriously when they're going after men.
Let's see. Anyway, enough of that. But I thought that was a pretty funny situation that just a guy putting in a picture that says, "Hey, the ideal wife is that she's moderately attractive, but mainly that she loves." He even mentioned attractiveness. It's just like she loves you, supports you, and likes spending time with you. There's like the most basic requests. Anyway,
Well, it's like if you care about another person, then you want to do well by them, right? Why are
Right.
we taking away the idea that we want to have good relationships? Why is there a tension as if it's like a standoff? Like we're holding each other. It's like two people are writing their marriage vows, but they have guns at each other. You know what I mean? They've got lawyers in the room. Like that's what they're trying to destroy the relationship process because they hate themselves.
Right. It's just like, yeah, just it's about, again, it's about the power struggle thing. I think it's the same thing where that all of that gives men power, and that's one of the main things that have been even affecting media is the idea of power imbalance. So like, for example, with this new Snow White Disney rendition of Snow White, they had to make it so that she's not in love with a prince, she's in love with like a thief, because him being a prince is power imbalance in the man's favor, and they can't have that. So I think with the Mulan movie, right? They replaced it wasn't Shao, what's his name? Shang. Like he was a general, he was a captain. He was a captain, he was Mulan's commanding officer in the original. But in the remake, they had to knock him down to a soldier so that he is either equal or beneath her. So this whole attitude has been affecting media. The idea of a man shouldn't have this power, shouldn't have the power advantage in any case, in any situation. So this whole thing about the man putting forth a fantasy of this woman loves me and supports me and everything, that's and then she caters to it. That's too much power. She's doing it because he wants it, and that's way too much power. They don't like that situation. They always get triggered, insanely triggered by these situations. Anyway, chat, check this out. Where is it? Okay, got this. I think we're gonna watch a little bit of this, only a little bit because it's a 40-minute video, but it is the end of Star Wars will destroy. Will Disney retcon the sequel trilogy? That's a big one. So will they? I don't think so. Probably not. But let's see what they say.
Stop! Don't click off this video. You need to hear how we're gonna save Star Wars. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into the channel.
I think that's like her sister, and they call her the hot guest or something.
That's funny.
That's why it's in the title.
Belle is back, aka female Frodo Baggins. I have just seen The Mandalorian and Grogu, and believe it or not, this is a pre-recorded video. But I'm a pre-recorded video coming out after the fact. I'm intending for this to be my follow-up on my Mandalorian Grogu review discussing Star Wars, and I'm just gonna put out a little prediction. I don't think I'm gonna like it, and I thought we could do a little post-Star Wars movie discussion on if this franchise even has a future or even a present.
Exactly. It's female Frodo Baggins. It's an interesting thing to adopt, but she does look like Frodo Baggins. She does. She has that face, the same face.
And as you can guess, I'm very cynical on it all, but
And see, David Musselman, thanks for the $10 super chat. Thank you very much, David Musselman. Appreciate it. And see, David Musselman says, remember the reaction to Amelie reveal from the upcoming game Knight's Path? A pretty girl, guys getting excited for a regular games sent internet into a fit. Yes, that's what I talked about. I think I talked about it a little bit earlier, but it was Knight's Path where they revealed this, conservatively dressed, like pretty girl with blonde hair, and she's just smiling, but she looks like a regular woman. She doesn't look like some roided out Chad or whatever. She doesn't look she doesn't look boyish, and she doesn't have the shaved side of the haircut or anything like that. She's like a regular woman. And she just happened to be smiling and had blonde hair, like nothing offensive. It was just a picture, and it was raging for days about how this is exploited, this is sexist or misogynist, this is gooner bait because she's blonde. Every time they see a blonde woman, it's gooner bait, according to them. Even with the whole game where you picked a daughter.
Gooner bait meaning attractive, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. That men are going to masturbate to this.
The person saying that isn't gooner bait, right? It goes back to that thing that I was saying about so I want an attractive woman for my movie, right? And I need an actress because she has to act. But if a woman is extremely beautiful, why would she ever want to act? She doesn't have to. She's pretty. She doesn't need to do anything. She can just be pretty, right?
Right.
So most hyper attractive women don't really do very much. They don't strive for anything. So you have this hierarchical thing in our society where the less attractive you are, the more work you have to do. Isn't that weird? Because why not just be a model? You don't have to remember any lines. You don't have to know how to sing. You don't even have to have talent. You just have to stand there and look pretty.
That was the house argument. Like, why are you a doctor? Like, he told Cameron, like, why are you a doctor? You're really pretty. You could just have existed. And people would just giving you stuff. Why become a doctor?
That's right. Because there's something to prove there, or there's an insecurity or something. And so every time you see one of these women that's like, she's too pretty, you're like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Because the same people that are doing that are also like complaining about how men say that they like women that don't wear makeup because they don't look good without makeup. It's all personal. And once you realize that, you go, damn, dude, there's so many people out here with fake ideologies, with fake principles that are just hurting inside because they aren't as good as other people in some way. I'm not the most attractive guy in the world. I remember I used to hang out with my buddy, and all the women would be attracted to him because he was better looking than me. And I was like, that's just the way it is. What am I going to do? Stop standing next to him? You know, or like how women, they post pictures of themselves with their more attractive girlfriends next to them, and you see them on Tinder and it's a group photo. An attractive girl's not going to do that. She isn't even going to be on Tinder. She's going to go to a dating app. It's going to be for those rich guys or whatever, right? Because they're living on a higher tier of existence in terms of that. And that's just how it is. Like, there are people that are going to be smarter than you. There are going to be people that are more wealthy than you. There are going to be people that are prettier than you. If you're complaining about that, you have a problem. They don't. It's your problem. And that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to make their problem our problem. And I just don't want it. I don't want that in my life. I'd rather have the goon bait in front of me than this fucking ugly tofuchu or whatever that fat bitch is called. I just don't want it.
Exactly. They're trying to impose upon male media their view of what a man should want. We got a guest in the back room chat. Let's see who this could possibly be.
Don't talk to me. I know you're a pervert under there.
Yeah.
Let's go, Stu. Hello to you, Stu. Welcome.
Good morning. It's so funny you say that, Glib, because like I have gone, I've gone my whole life dealing with these kind of people, and I'm also not like super attractive either. And I used to be full of bitterness and envy. And then you realize that there is a point for some of these attractive people who do not capitalize on their attractiveness, like in the right way. And then later, they just fall. They just fall so much harder than the rest of us because they never had to learn to struggle. And it's not just attractive. It's also people who are naturally smart, naturally talented, naturally anything. They start on a higher tier, but because they don't learn how to master themselves, they never learn the fundamentals of being a person, that when the chickens come home to roost, they haven't built a single fucking, kennel, or what am I trying to say? Coop.
Sorry. It's just so funny because it's like, I don't even blame them. I don't even think these people have the sentience, the sapience to understand what has happened to them. Like, they have been exposed to certain narratives and they bought into those narratives, and then they realized that the whole thing was a Potemkin. It wasn't real. It was never going to happen. Mm-hmm. That was not going to happen. And that's why I was saying earlier, it's like the uplifting. Somebody was mentioning that Stu is more uplifting than me. I'm like, yeah. Because that's like two views on the same thing, but we're ultimately trying to get to the same place, which is to live good lives. Mm-hmm. And there's a person that's out there that's trying to prevent you from having the life you want. And that's that person, because they're not happy with themselves because they were misled or they made the wrong conclusions about something. And I just don't think we should be dragged down by them.
Yeah. There's a very famous experiment where they raised a monkey and a baby at the same time. And they're like, surely the monkey will start acting, more intelligent because it's being raised with a higher being. No, what's happening is that the baby got dragged down to the monkey's level, and that baby suffered huge drawbacks for their entire life. And then when they barely made it to adulthood, they killed themselves.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There is a point. It's one of the reasons why Brad Bird's movies are all normies. Shut the fuck up and get out of the way. Is because life is made up of heroes, and there are people who follow those heroes. and you can be a hero, but like, one, you do need a talent in some regard, and you could be as long as it's a fucking talent that's useful, you can be a hero. You just need one, and then you need to work your balls off in everything else, you know?
Like, I think that I look at heroism, being a hero now, is like, it's a temporal thing. Like that guy Christian Craighead, I think his name is, the what is it? The Obi-Wan Nairobi. Do you remember that guy, the SAS operator that happened to be in Kenya, and there was a mall takeover, and he got his gear out of his truck and he went in and he took out all the terrorists? Do you guys remember that story?
I don't remember
I
that
do
story.
not, but tell me.
Oh man,
I
it's
heard
so
about
cool.
that.
So I mean, it was just a guy. He was wearing like designer jeans and stuff, and he just went and got his kit, got his AR, went in and he cleared out the mall. And I'm like, that guy's a hero, but he's a hero because he did that. You know, he could be a bastard off, and we don't even know about it. You know what I mean? He could be a dickhead. You know, he could not tip and whatever. And like, but that's what I'm trying to say is that, like, you know, we have these personal achievement things that we want. We have things that we stand for. And in that moment, we meet that. But most of the time, we should be taking care of ourselves as if we're in the wilderness. And I think people have forgotten that. Like, I remember 10 years ago or so, I drove across the country back and forth. Like, I went to the north, I went to the south, I went all over. And I realized that America is a really empty place, except for where the cities are. And as soon as you get out of the city, if you're a city person, you realize, oh, we're still in survival mode. Just because I can go to the supermarket and get anything that I need doesn't mean that I'm not surviving in this environment. I'm still playing Minecraft on survival mode. This isn't creative mode. And I think that people should be more about that. They should be securing their existence and the future for their children. I think that that's what it's about. I don't think that there's, I don't think that all these people that have these ideological ideas are living in the real world. I think they're living in a fantasy world, and their fantasies can harm you directly, because once they group up, and it, like in the Chinese Revolution or something, they can take everything from you, beat you, throw you into the dirt. They'll do whatever because they're ideologically minded. They're not thinking about the bare minimum that is required for them to exist. They're thinking about some goal that's an abstraction. So I think we need to get back to that, realizing that we're living in a real world and that we should sustain ourselves. And that's what our goal is. It doesn't have to be this far-fetched thing where we get world peace and we solve world. Like, you can't really do that.
Yeah.
All you can do is take care of yours and your own.
Yep. Two follow-ups. One, I will only be here for like an hour. I do have a bunch of loading crew craft stuff to do. And two, like I think everyone needs to work, like everyone says like you need to work like a retail job or like a McDonald's kind of job, like at least once for a while, like as you're growing up, like it's really, really important. I think you need to work like 5 different jobs. I think you need to work farm, like some kind of hard labor. I think you need to work some kind of service job. You need to work some kind of like caretaker job, some kind of entrepreneurial job. And then I'm going to say just wild card. And the wild card would be like an unusual profession or like a high tier profession. Entrepreneurial is kind of high tier, but like you should like job shadow a teacher or something for like 6 months, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, something where that give you some experience and interaction with people, like real life people.
Yeah,
I remember reading a story where this guy was like online and he goes to college and he starts like going to the actual classes and everything, and it's like totally different in real life than it is online. Like people, like there's some bald guys out here who are like, you know, no one's calling them Norwooded or anything like that. They have girlfriends and stuff like that. They're like 5'6", 5'8", and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, this is way different than what, you know, the online culture is.
Do you remember Colossus's 4 or 5 moments speech in Deadpool? People think you wake up a hero, you go to sleep a hero, you brush your teeth a hero. No, it's really just 5 big moments in your life that you have to decide now is the time to be the hero. And it's I love how chat's gassing me up. You guys are great, but I just picked correctly in my 4 or 5 moments, you know, and everywhere else I just kind of live as, I don't know, in what am I trying to say? Just as
It's a regular person. It's just
as a regular person. But the thing is, my standard for a regular person is way higher than most people's standard for a regular person, because right now everyone's idea of a regular person is an opportunistic, selfish asshole. And I feel like, in my experience, when you start interacting with go-getters and you start interacting with, you know, heroes or people who are willing to work hard, most people are kind. Most people are pretty nice and they're pretty understanding. It's only like these terminally online losers that never had to work for anything that are just really nasty.
Yeah, they feel entitled. That's kind of what happens. So there's a whole mindset of charging for things. So people say that, oh, you shouldn't charge for autographs, for example. But then they came up with the idea that maybe you should, because otherwise people will be entitled to these things, and you have to. You'll be on the line every single time. Like, you have to give out an autograph. You have to give out this. Same thing with everything. Like, if you get something for free, people become entitled to it, and so it's better to charge a little bit, even if it's just a little bit, so that there can be a thing of like, okay, I paid for this, so that's why I'm getting it.
Well, even Philip DeFranco said never hold a free event, because at the very least, the money required to get into a free event is a gatekeeper from Rift Raft. Because no one's going to give up $40 to troll a big event, but people might give up an afternoon.
Yeah, they probably won't, like, unless they're like really invested. She'll have $40 to troll you and see. But yeah, I remember the whole thing with Knight's Path. Pretty girl guys get excited for a regular game, send internet into a fit. Still looking forward to that game. And they're still putting out that character. They put out the character the other day again, I think. So they haven't backed down. They put out more stuff. I think they put out actual gameplay fighting this time around very recently, within the last few days. So they have not backed down. And all they've done is just make a normal looking game with normal looking people, and that made the internet really, really angry. Anyway,
Some fans, it seems, just can't let go of Star Wars. There still seems to be some kind of obsessive fan base around this, even with all of their recent failures. Once again, everyone here, Jester Bell, female Frodo Baggins, and once again, this is a pre-recorded video. I did this a couple weeks before I saw Mandalorian and Grogu, so I have not seen it yet as I record this video, but this is coming after I've seen it. I'm just gonna do like a little prediction that I'm not gonna care for the movie, but I have here a guest, a Star Wars fan I found off the street, because here's another prediction. I don't expect that Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be doing that well at the box office. I think it's going to be very, very front loaded, and then it's going to drop in the second weekend. Turn that off. I think it's going to drop in the second weekend, and I just don't think it's going to be well received. I don't think that is a crazy prediction right now. You let me know in the comments. Was Mandalorian and Grogu very well received when it came out? Let's see. But anyway, we're here to do a little follow-up video to talk about everything Star Wars in light of Mandalorian and Grogu being a really bad idea for the first Star Wars comeback after 7 years. And we're going to discuss, is there any future left for this? Because the brand seems to be dead. Like, they can't do anything going forward. And amidst all of this, like, we're hearing rumors that they might be retconning the sequel trilogy, and we know that we've heard rumors like that for years, but this might actually have some validity that we're going to talk about. And in the midst of all of that, it's like there's still fans for Star Wars out there. There's still fans that love this property, as was seen in this like recent study that, according to Disney Plus, the original movies and the prequels are the most popular Star Wars things on Disney Plus, and the sequels just can't compare with that. And you know, we see re-releases like for Revenge of the Sith that got a lot for a re-release, and then we're going to see the original A New Hope cut come out next year for its 50th anniversary. There is still a Star Wars fan base. It's just they can't get anyone to even care about the new stuff, not even to get angry anymore, because what we're seeing with Mandalorian and Grogu, it's just apathy. And once again, pre-recorded video, I don't know if the apathy is going to change, but I'm just making a prediction that it's not going to. But anyway, I have a guest here that is a Star Wars fan, and she has actually been able...
I know you guys couldn't tell.
She has actually been able to keep...
It's just really funny still to me that the Star Wars is alive, not based on what Disney has been doing. And the numbers show Star Wars, the life that Star Wars has left is due only to the original trilogy and the stuff that George Lucas did. Like even the prequel trilogy stuff is bringing more life to Star Wars than the sequel trilogy and the Acolyte and all that stuff. So in a big way, George Lucas is keeping Star Wars alive, even though he doesn't own the franchise anymore. No, if it was just left up to what Disney has made, Star Wars would be completely obliterated. It would have wilted a long time ago, or shriveled up and crumbled away into dust a long time ago. But because we have the original trilogy that's still attached to Star Wars and the prequel one, that's really keeping it alive. Even like the stuff that's popular about the Disney stuff, like the popular Disney stuff, what is it? It's like Andor, it's Mando, it's Mandalorian. Like it's stuff attached to the original trilogy. Right? There's not the things that are popular are either the original trilogy or stuff that Disney has made. It's attached some way to the original trilogy, but nothing really that they have made that is, their original story, like the sequel trilogy. Nothing is flying with that. It's just not. People are not watching that stuff. If people aren't buying the merchandise or anything.
Keep up her Star Wars fandom by not watching any of the new Disney stuff. And so we're going to do a thing here where I'm going to be the cynic because I've paid attention closely.
Alex and I went to Disney World a few years back, and there is a Star Wars ride that has like Kylo Ren and Rey and stuff in it, and it's actually quite exciting and fun because the ride is good. It's not good because Kylo Ren is threatening me. It's good because like I feel like I'm in a Star Destroyer and everything is going correct.
Yeah.
Like all this, like even the movies with all their bullshit, like they think the magic sauce is the window dressing when reality it's just a good story, and they failed to write that because they wanted to feel smarter than you.
I think there's a quote from Theodore Dalrymple. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was studying communist societies, and what he said was, I came to the conclusion that the purpose of communist propaganda was not to persuade or convince, nor to inform, but to humiliate, and therefore the less it corresponded to reality, the better. When people are forced to remain silent, when they are being told the most obvious lies, or even worse, when they are forced to repeat the lies themselves, they lose once and for all their sense of probity. To assent to obvious lies is to cooperate with evil, and in some small way to become evil oneself. One standing to resist anything is thus eroded, and even destroyed. A society of emasculated liars is easy to control.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole thing with the frog slowly being roasted. You just have to crank it up a little bit. And this kind of we saw this happen. We saw this happen in these nerd sectors. You could say the sector, not the sector, but the nerd sectors, where it's just like they go in there and say, "Oh, how about this person is just suddenly bisexual," and then, or this character is replaced by a woman, or something like that. And like, okay, well, are you a bigot? Why would you be angry at this? And they kept saying that over and over and over again. And it's not big changes. That's kind of the issue of it. All these people have said it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's just a little change. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Until now it's completely different. And people were like, where did it all go wrong? Well, it went wrong because you kept saying it's no big deal until it's all over. It's all changed now.
If you wanted to stop me, you should have kept the gasoline leaded.
Exactly.
I'm too smart now.
People think that a takeover is a huge change, but no, this is how it's done. It was a little increment by increment, little by little, until something's. It's kind of why there's a big difference between D&D 5e 2014 and D&D 5e 2026. Like little increment by little increment until now. There's no like racial bonuses or anything. They kind of completely overhaul. What have they done, Stu? I know they did some major changes to 5e. Do you know the recent ones? Because I know there's some major changes to lore and the races and the characters, things like that. So
nobody pays attention anymore because they've all checked out.
They all checked out. People like this. It's not for me anymore.
What's the one everyone plays? 3.5.
That's the one that was the peak one. Everyone loves 3.5. That was like the peak version of D&D. And then there's 4, which everyone hates. Everyone no one really likes 4. And then there's 5e, which is kind of controversial, but it is kind of fun because of the streamlined version of the rules. But there's a big difference between 5e 2014, 2015 or whatever, and 2026. Big difference.
This is so funny. It's exactly the same as Halo. Everybody doesn't like 5 and 4.
It's always the cursed number 4, cursed number 5.
Well, 4 is difficult because 3 parts is a story, and you have to make 5 for it to be complete, like structurally. But anyway,
Cargo says, I've never been more convinced you all watch Kirsch, but just don't want to admit it. I don't.
I don't watch VTubers.
I don't
really watch very much anymore, to be honest. I'm mostly like in the past, trying to resurrect old ideas.
The Call of Duty says, funny enough about that saying, the frog will notice the water temperature changing as soon as the water gets too hot, will jump out. Unless there's another frog in there saying, what are you, a bigot?
No, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it's like. Yeah.
You think water getting too hot? Well, you racist?
Yeah, come on, comrade.
Like. Yeah.
That's what a Nazi would say.
Disney's.
That's what's funny about that is it's like I had this revelation. It's like anytime somebody is talking about fascism or Nazism, it's just white people talking about their own self-interest. White people are not allowed to have their own shit. And once you realize that, you're like, oh shit. Now I've crossed over into the verboten zone. Now I can't have this opinion because they're going to crucify me.
It could be something wild too. Like it's like I want a family.
Yeah, it could be basic shit, but that's because the whole thing is a scam. Once you realize that you're being scammed, then it's like all of the verbosity doesn't matter anymore. And once you're willing, it's the hero thing is interesting because to me, a hero is somebody who's willing to go to the mat for what they believe in. And there's a lot of people that I don't agree with their ideology, but I admire and I respect them. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a communist or whatever, but I really admire several people that were heroes of the Soviet Union because of their actions. Like one of these guys, Preminin, he manually reinserted nuclear control rods at the age of 20 into his submarine and saved his comrades in the submarine. Mm-hmm. And it's like I'm not a communist. I don't care. Or Legasov at Chernobyl. But this stuff matters, like individual people, and Solzhenitsyn would say that, good and evil don't pass through the state. They don't pass through ideologies. They pass straight through the human heart. And that's what we have to admire. And as soon as we recognize that, all of the grift and all of the bullshit, buzzwords that they invent, they just melt away because you realize that good and evil are individual traits. They're people. Their ways of doing things and their ways of thinking. And if you can detach from all the ideological elements of that and just see people for good and evil, then we can have camaraderie again. Then we can have peace again amongst each other. But as long as we're being manipulated for someone else's games, we might as well be slaves.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going to India and trying to sell multiculturalism to them?
No, I can't. I don't want to go to India. Thank you.
Actually, have you ever tried the India? It's funny. Chat was actually asking me, have you heard about the twins where they cut off the dick of one of them? Yes, I know about that one. That is actually
David Reimer.
Yeah, the guy who invented gender.
That guy's insane. Mm-hmm. I wish we could resurrect him just to kill him.
Yeah. But the other one was. Yeah, can you imagine? First of all, the India challenge. Anywhere. On Google Maps, look anywhere in India. If you could find anywhere that is not covered in garbage, you win.
And it's impossible.
You can't win. You will not win that game
because they don't feel responsible as a culture for maintaining anything.
Unlike
India is a piece of shit.
It's like the complete opposite of Japan, which has like a very strong, we got to clean up the world together.
Would you like to talk about Izzat?
Oh yeah, that's kind of what got Novak killed.
Yeah.
About what's funny? It's kind of funny after that is that okay, he was killed with a religious knife, and then Starmer's like, oh, this is what an awful tragedy, and then he's like, no, we're not going to take away the knives from these people. We're gonna. So you as a white British guy you do not get to at least carry around a knife with you. But if you are religious, you can carry a knife to murder people with.
But of course, it's not real. None of that is real. It's just they're trying to bring in foreigners to oppress you and have power over you because that's the only way that they can maintain
I'll have you know,
power.
it's quite Israel.
It's quite Israel.
It's quite Israel, actually.
But you just think that in the United States we have a lot of religious freedom, but I don't think you're allowed to have like a religious sword you can carry around.
Well, but again, all of this is bullshit. I mean, it's like, you know, there's no good reason why you can't have a weapon to defend yourself in any situation. There's just no reason. Why can't I carry a weapon to defend myself? What's the problem?
In Britain, it was like, you afraid, or be a real man, or whatever. You don't be a coward. You know, give up your weapon. Like, well, how about you guys don't be a coward in the government? You guys don't be cowardly and let us keep our weapons. I mean, that's kind of what we did there.
The governments of the world today are not based on an ethnos. They're not based on a natio, any of the old ancient Latin terms. They're not based on the Magna Carta. They don't believe in rights. They don't actually believe in anything. They believe in nothing, because all that they care about is power. And the only way that they can maintain their power is the same way that a Federal Reserve can maintain its financial stability, which is they have to dilute everybody else that has a stake. So they print money, and now you have less value in your money. And they add in foreigners and immigrants, and now you have less power with your votes. It's all about taking power away from you. And America was, and will be, if it ever is, you know what I mean, great, because it empowers the individual to do what they want to do. And that attracted all of the greatest people in the world, and it made all of the greatest things happen. And it's what survived communism. It's what survived socialism. It's what survived fascism, was purely the idea that you and your people are free and independent from all this bullshit. And as soon as they brought that bullshit here, they started to treat America or in the West like they were foreign governments. The British government treats the British people like they're Afghani Taliban. They use the exact same tactics. They use the exact same tactics they would use on a hostile foreign populace.
Yeah, the guy was stabbed, and they just arrested. He can't even stand. You're just arresting him. Put your hand in the cuff, mate. And while the stabber was treated with, like, basically giving cozy kisses and hugs. Hey, Mr. Stabber, would you like to have like a meal at the cafeteria? You can pick out whatever you want. You know, the other guy's dead. The guy's just dead on the ground.
Once you wake up and you realize, oh, I am me. I am a person. I am alive, and I deserve to be treated with that bare minimum level of respect, and that this is my country. That's what they're afraid of. That's why everything is always about guilt tripping you. Like, oh, look at this poor family. Look at this poor, in the arms of the angel, fly away. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I care about myself and my people and my friends and my family. What are you doing for them? Nothing? Get out of the way then. That's my politics.
Yeah.
Everything else is bullshit.
Why is it you don't care about my neighbor who is also struggling, and he's right next to me? Why do I need to care about Jamal, who's got a family of criminals, and I need to give him $20 because ancestors that are not my ancestors enslaved his ancestors, but not really. Also, that was a completely different group of people. 80% of slaves were owned by, it was this one country.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
They got him.
They got him.
They got Stu.
but he's right. I mean, it was what Rupert Lowe said. It's like when people accuse you of being racist or this or whatever, you just say, I don't care. Saying that you don't care about somebody is like, oh, I'm going to morally judge you. But it's like, actually, I care about what I care about. If you're the one that's telling me that when I say I don't care about your agenda, you're saying you don't care about me. You care about your agenda more. Sorry, you're saying something, Stu?
No, that was part of the bit. I was pretending that they got me.
That was a good bit. It worked.
They got Stu.
We got it.
You know, attitudes to these franchises and watch things like The Acolyte. And so I'm rather cynical about their future, even as I think some things are plausible. But she got very, very hyped at hearing they might retcon the sequel. So Kelly, explain to the audience, how were you able to keep up your Star Wars fandom? And have you watched any of the Disney Star Wars projects post Rise of Skywalker?
I am ashamed to say that I watched a little bit of The Mandalorian in the first season, some of those early episodes.
You shouldn't be ashamed of that.
To death.
You shouldn't be. Everybody that I've heard that liked The Mandalorian at any point has only said season 1 was interesting. Red Letter Media had the same opinion. I don't think that's shameful. Same with Andor. So. If you like Andor, that's fine. But that doesn't fix anything.
Yeah, we get a lot of bait and switches today, but Mandalorian season 1, pretty good. It just kind of deviated from what I think it should have been, which is this like Monster of the Week kind of thing. Every episode, new bounty. I think that's what it should have been.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I think it's funny because it's like I haven't watched any Marvel products since 2019. I haven't watched any Star Wars shit since the Andor TV show or whatever from season 1. I didn't even bother to watch season 2, and it's one of those things that's crazy to me, because the thing that made me want to make movies was the first Star Wars movie, because I saw it and I went, this is a masterpiece. This is something that nobody's ever done. And I know I was like, I was growing up in the 90s, right? So it was like 1997 or something that I saw this, before the prequels came out. And that sort of formed my whole opinion about film in general. George Lucas is the reason why I am this stupid bastard about film and digital media, because he's the one that defined this dichotomy for me. He's the one that pushed everything. But I also admire him so much for what he did. And so when people take his work and they make all this trash out of it, it's like being a fan of the original McDonald's, and then it's like 50 years later and none of the ingredients are the same. Or a fan of any company that went down the tubes, like Remington in the gun world, or, you know, Microsoft, even, if you wanted to talk about it like that. Like any company that's been shredded by private equity because nobody cares about it anymore. They just care about the balance budget. You know what I mean? Like the balance sheet and the budget. And it's infuriating, because all of this stuff is downstream from the thing that you actually like. This isn't going to make more fans. Did Andor make any new Star Wars fans? Did Mandalorian and Grogu? I don't think so. I think it's just managed decline.
I've seen some people argue that they like Andor, but they thought it should have been like its own series, not like part of Star Wars.
I don't know. All I know is I think that it's Star Wars fans that already exist that like it. They're not growing new Star Wars fans.
Every single time I've seen someone talk about Andor, it's like, oh, this is pretty cool because of this, and this, and this, and like how it's attached to all these other movies and everything. So it does kind of feel like everyone I've seen talk about Andor, it was a Star Wars fan already. That's what it feels like. If as it says, I liked season 1, and there was a missing what. That's why I think not only should it have been about a bounty every episode, it should have been local. They shouldn't have given him a ship. It should have been all in that area. On that planet.
Are you talking about Mandalorian?
Yeah, the Mandalorian, yeah.
No, I agree, because you whenever you have a world that's too big, as in like, you know, a Star Wars universe that's like this fucking huge, you lose a lot of the personality that your world comes with, because then you're not just going to you're not treating your world like a character, you're treating your world like a series of like locations. Like just like
it's not nearly as fun. They don't have personality.
Like Rick and Morty actually even made that joke where they're escorting a guy to like the suicide place that they had. It's in the episode. It's great. And there's like, did you have this ready? And Morty and Rick just said, it's just a place. Don't think about it.
Exactly. It's like that. Where on the other hand, like I said before, comparing it to DS9, where DS9, Bajor, Cardassia, they all had like their own, like the locations themselves, or their own like environment, their own like personality. Where they should have done that with the Mandalorian. I compared the Mandalorian to Goblin Slayer. Like it should have been like Goblin Slayer, because Goblin Slayer proved that formula could work successfully. Goblin Slayer isn't getting involved in like huge overarching plots. It's just every episode is like a new, not every episode, but like every adventure is a new quest. It's a new quest.
Right, 100%. I mean, you were right. You know, like it's monster of the week shit.
Yeah, should have been.
And everybody wanted that. Non-pretentious, just a story in the Star Wars world. Things happen, and then you go to like Dave Filoni, and it's like, remember this thing from like the old, like remember the concept art? That he's in it now. Remember Jabba the Hutt? Like, you're like, shut up! Like, are you autistic? Like, get out of the way! And then you just see Jon Favreau, and he's miserable, and he's just like, oh, I got to deal with this cowboy hat wearing retard. Paycheck. I gotta pay off my food truck.
I remember when I was doing alignment videos, and I watched Mando like season 2 or whatever, or it might have even been fucking the Boba Fett show. But like, there's this character from the cartoon that shows up, and they treat him as if he like deserves all this gravitas and importance. And I'm sitting here like, who the fuck is this? I do not give a shit about this weird blue alien with another asthmatic problem, you know? They're just jingling keys in front of me, and I'm not impressed by the keys because I don't even know what the keys are.
Yeah, it's the irony is they keep saying that they want to generate a whole new era for the new generation of Star Wars fans. But the thing is that they rely so heavily on hitting on things from the old era of Star Wars, from the old era of Star Wars fans. So on one hand, they demonize old school Star Wars fans. We're just not for 50-year-old men, whatever. They say stuff like this, and they so emphasize getting a new generation or making Star Wars for a new generation, yet they rely so heavily on the iconic visions, the iconic imagery of Star Wars, and not making anything new. And the new stuff sucks. No one likes the new stuff. Even the new stuff is a carbon copy of the old stuff.
Well, the funniest thing to me was I was like, nobody's as good at this as George is. Name a filmmaker. You know, the only other person that could probably do a Star Wars movie properly is James Cameron, and he's busy making his own shit. Like that, it's totally, you know, you need somebody that's not just a film guy that loves Star Wars. You need a guy that understands deeper concepts or broader ideas or political philosophy or has technical acumen that's way above everybody else. I mean, that's the thing about all these guys that are special filmmakers, is that they have more going on than just shooting a movie. Like Dave Filoni never built a company. George Lucas is the reason why we have nonlinear editing. He's the reason why we have digital cinema. He's, you know what I mean? He had Skywalker Ranch doing the Skywalker sound stuff. He's the reason why ILM exists. Like there's so many things that he did that had nothing to do with film necessarily. He's the reason why we have so much film merchandising. He had a whole ecosystem that was built. And when you go from Cameron, who was a guy who was, you know, spray painting French fry containers on to Roger Corman films, and then he went and dove to the bottom of the Challenger Deep or whatever in a submarine. Like, this is a guy that has way more going on in his mind and in his existence that he's interested in than just, hey guys, I want to make another film where maybe Jabba the Hutt's son is in an arena, and it's kind of like that. Like, shut your fucking mouth. Get some geniuses in here. Where are they? Where are all the brilliant people?
They got drummed out because they were brilliant.
They were white.
I'm pretty sure it's the attitude, because if you heard the attitude that was on the set of Witcher with Henry Cavill, and what's it called, Secret Invasion? No, not Secret Invasion. Or maybe it was Secret Invasion, where they would purposely turn away people who are invested in the thing that they're doing. Like this, they hate Henry Cavill because he kept saying, "No, I don't want to, have a joke when the horse dies." Like, this guy wouldn't do that because of this. Like, they hate that. They hate the fact that people who aren't on set or they're working with are invested in the thing that they're working on. They purposely look for people who have never read the comics for Secret Invasion, probably for that reason. So no one would question them. No one would know the real lore or anything like that. And so it kind of stifles creativity. It kind of does it. We people who are passionate, but the passion is an obstacle for the people kind of directing. Let's see. Megathon Legion Fighters says, have we all forgotten that Power Rangers has 20 series built on Monster of the Week? Yeah, that's true. It'll work just fine. I don't know why Disney was so obsessed with it. Okay, it's got to be this big overarching adventure. Yeah, that might work in like the trilogy movies, because you are going over a big overarching adventure. But when we have Mandalorian, the formula should have been a little bit different. It was built on Monster of the Week. I love Power Rangers. Yeah, Power Rangers is awesome. I like the original, Mighty Morphin, and I like Mystic Force, even though it's incredibly cheesy. But I kind of like Mystic Force.
Bro, Power Rangers Mystic Force theme song, the first time you hear it, it's like, oh god, this is awful. The 10th time you hear it, you're like, give me the Power Rangers! You're just like shouting that shit.
Power Rangers. It's a Power Rangers. Mystic Force. Yeah.
It's good shit. It's good fucking shit. It's just cheese, and it's not trying to be smarter than you. It's just good.
It's just like, here's a show about magic Power Rangers, kind of. And it feels like the story is, the writers thought this made the story a lot deeper than the cheesiness of the show allowed for. There's always like politics and like power struggles and betrayals. It's like Game of Thrones, but then these comes to Power Rangers. Like it's all cheesy on the surface.
Unironically, some of the best 5 episodes of television I ever watched was Power Rangers RPM. The first 5 episodes, absolutely incredible setup.
Really?
Like, no, it's really good because like they were trying. they were really putting an effort in. And it's my understanding that the guy who came in like promised Disney like this super serious show, and then when he got the Sentai footage, he was like, "Oh God, they're toys," like, and he didn't understand what he was getting into. And so like he really went balls to the wall for like the first 5 episodes, and then the rest just kind of peters off, and it's not great. Like,
it's hard to do stuff in Japan, like live action stuff. So anytime that I hear that, like what are they called? There's like a specific genre of it, like the
Sentai.
Yes, thank you. That
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anytime that they do those shows and it's good, I'm like, wow, they really worked it out. Because it almost seems like Japan is doing everything on a shoestring budget. And like in America, they just throw the money around. In Japan, they have to like scrape it off the ground.
Let's see. Yeah, I think there's a lot of those shows had very low budgets and are kind of they're prided on having really low budgets, and it shows. It doesn't
gotta get
show
that-
sometimes.
We gotta get that Japanese economy going so we can get more Kino.
There's a
More video
hilarious video of it's from a Sentai, and I don't remember which one. It's definitely a Japanese Sentai too. Like it's not an Americanized version of this guy in a Power Ranger suit, and he's like washing his clothes, and he's like really working hard at it, like running it along like the washboard and everything. And he then looks and the music is all peaceful and it's a sunny day, and then he looks over and he sees a washing machine, and he just kind of stares at it for like 10 seconds, and you can tell everything, every emotion he was feeling at the time. It's so funny. It's the fact that they could like, I know everything about the narrative of that little clip, and I barely, I speak some Japanese, but I don't know enough to watch a TV show. Incredible character acting from a guy in a rubber suit.
I was just watching Tokyo Vice, and so it's like HBO money going to Japan, and I'm like, man, this country has so much to offer. It's so many talented people. They just don't have the funding to do it, and it just frustrates me.
The thing is, too, they prefer it that way. They prefer it when the yen is weak. That way you can go to a convenience store and buy a full meal for $2.50.
I like that, but it's just, I wish, I don't know. I'm imperial about Japan. Sorry.
You're imperial about Japan. Don't worry. They're starting to be, too, and I'm encouraging it.
Well, yeah, I've seen like all the mangaka people like, no, we're not going to bend the knee to America or the Western sensibilities, and they've started blocking people. I think their policy has been to block. Oh no, at least that one bass guy from Capcom is like, he blocks anyone who speaks English.
Kamea.
Yeah, he like if anyone comes at him on Twitter who speaks English, he blocks them.
I love Hideki Kamea.
Insta block. He doesn't care what they have to say.
Did you see that one? He finally went to a Waffle House. He finally went to a Waffle House.
Oh my god!
Because people have been asking him for years. It's like, can you add a level in a Waffle House? And he had to ask, all right, Americans, why are other Americans asking me this? And they had to slowly explain it to him, the culture and the memes and the jokes surrounding it. It was quite fun.
The Waffle House fighting
is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, because like going to Waffle House, you might see like a whole dinner in the show. It might be even a reluctant participant. Let's see. Orochi Kitsune, thanks for $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Orochi Kitsune. Where is the proper clip for this? Oh my god! Is it going? Did it go?
What?
Oh my god!
Did the clip go?
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, I didn't see it from my end.
Oh my god, Aru.
Different worlds could have worked for Mandalorian if each season was focused on blunties and on a single world. Oh, bounties. I guess.
Yo, dog, I also agree. The show would work a lot better if it was about blunties.
It's like what? Is it called? Oh, like, is it going after potheads? Like, it's just
Speaking as a pseudo pothead, you do need to go after them. Yeah.
What was Mandalorian's focus on blunties instead? A single world. Even the more successful live service games figured this out and have been fine-tuned to it. Yeah, that'd be way better. Yeah.
I could bring you in warm, I could bring you in cold. Nah, dog, bring me in toasty.
Bring me in toasty.
Bring me in toasty.
This is good. Is it Mandalorian's like this is good shit? Actually,
he's got like his helmet like slightly askew, just hitting the blunt. Like, oh shit, man. Nah, you're good. You can stay.
Let's see. Jester King. This is the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Yes. So thank you, Stu, for the recognition of power.
He's underwater.
Oh no. Let's see. Thank you, Stu, for how about now?
You're amazing. Well done.
Thank you for recognition of Power Rangers RPM. Though RPM, Ziggy, and Dylan are probably the coolest Rangers.
I'm trying to remember them.
Ziggy.
Like they each have like I wouldn't call them civilian powers, but like one of them has like super strength. Like because he's like a clone or part robot or something. One of them is like has another thing. Another one's like a super genius. One's the girl, of course, and the other one is Scottish. Like,
and then there's a Scotsman.
That's the whole Ranger team. Is like they're slowly recruiting people for like the first 5 episodes, and the first 3 Rangers come in pretty easily, but they get a guy with super strength, and I think he's the only guy on the town with a civvy power. But it's just really funny because one of the villains is taunting them. And again, like it's super cool because they're fighting like this AI bot and they get really freaked out because one of the AI bots was like built as a woman and they're like, dude, this one's different. And they're like, why is it different? And he kind of whispers really horrified into the communicator. He's like, she's enjoying this. And I was like, ooh, that's really fucking good for a kid's show. Like, that's really good.
And the thing is, you don't really have to necessarily hold back with a kid in a kid's show. You can explore like a bunch of like very like deep topics or whatever, but it's just how it's delivered is the thing. You can't really be doing all the stuff you do for an adult show. Mm-hmm. But Avatar: The Airbender, for example, was a big one where they go into some pretty interesting spiritual territories and stuff, but they do it in a way that a younger audience can understand and appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
It's
incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brought Luke in. Spoilers. They brought Luke or CGI Luke in at the end of Mandalorian season 2.
That was so fucking retarded. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe that they did a deep fake thing where like nobody likes that. Like, why not just hire Sebastian Stan to play Luke? I don't understand.
They could have, yeah.
Or not even use the deep fake and just get the guy that they hired to play Luke to be Luke. Like, I don't know why we have to. They think that people have no imagination anymore. That like you can't accept that somebody else is playing somebody else. Yeah,
isn't that what Mr. Plinkett said? Like when we did the review on Star Trek Nemesis, and he's like, well, of course the young Picard clone has to be bald because Picard is the bald captain.
He's the bald captain. Yeah, that's right.
And if we had the Karen with hair, it'd be like if we had like we went back in time and we got to see Abraham Lincoln as a kid. We wouldn't, we would scratch our thick monkey craniums. You're like, who's this? Unless the kid had like a beard and this tall hat.
Yeah, he has to wear the same outfit that he's been wearing his whole life.
The iconic Abraham Lincoln look, like the kid would have to wear that. A little kid with a top hat and stuff, running around like, there's Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, there he is.
I actually wonder about the fashion at the time. Was Abraham Lincoln like? Did he understand that he was building an iconic image with that hat and everything?
I don't think so. I've seen other guys around the same time, and they kind of dress less like him. I think he was just part of the fashion.
Yeah. Did Adolf Hitler know what he was doing with that mustache?
Unironically, yeah, I kind of have that question sometimes.
Probably not, but yeah, that was it was a military mustache, so that you could have a mustache in the military, but it had to be a certain way, and that mustache allowed him to wear gas masks.
It was for the gas mask, yeah, and it was popular. That's why Hitler is so funny as a character in the humanities story, is because every time that he everything that he did or had aesthetically and his name, like all of that became unpopular after he died, or after everything. He like ruined it for everybody. There's no more Adolfs. There's no more broomstick or whatever their shits are called, mustaches. You know what I mean?
Because a lot of people had that mustache because it was popular at the time. It was a trend at the time.
Which was the trend at the time.
We used to all be called Adolf Hitler. That was the trend.
There are lots of Adolfs. Let's see. Dave Musman says, my brother has been saying for years that Sebastian Stan would should play Luke. Yeah, because he looks just like him.
He looks just like him.
Just like him. Like it's uncanny.
But also very. I was actually kind of angry.
Oh, crazy mustache man. I just think of Charlie Chaplin.
At that point,
Yeah, right?
because they had turned so many Star Wars fans off by that point, that it just felt like, I don't know. Teresa calls it key jangling, which it was. They ended up not really following through on Luke's involvement in the show, and I don't know. I wasn't really happy with that. And then as time has gone on, I haven't watched any more. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see Star Wars continue to be dragged through the mud. I have not watched Ahsoka. I have not watched Andor. I have not watched, what have they had? Oh, I watched a little bit of the Book of Boba Fett, I think. I think you watched a little bit of.
I said at the beginning of the stream, this is what happens when you don't cater to your fans. Because I was going off the news that they canceled the Stargate movie because they said that it'll the way the movie's panning out, it'll only cater to fans. So they canceled.
Oh no. We have a fandom that wants to see a product. It's not big enough.
And so this is what happens when you cater to fans. Good things happen. And right now, like honestly, Star Wars should be raking in money for Disney. But instead of just how long has it been? Almost 10 years later, they're maybe treading water, and it's not because of Disney. It's because of George Lucas. They're treading that water, but they should be rising up. Right. I mean, Disney had like infinite money, infinite clout. They should be rising above and just raking in that cash.
Do you remember when the Campbell's chicken soup 3D printed meat thing that happened? Do you guys remember that?
I didn't know.
No. The CEO of the company was caught on tape in one of the board meetings saying how they make Campbell's soup for poor people and how he wouldn't want to feed the 3D printed meat to himself. He wouldn't want to eat it. And I was like, well, that's a perfect example of what we're talking about here, because the only reason why Campbell's is the soup is because back in the day it used to be the soup. It used to be the good soup, and they've chipped away at its quality so much. They've coin clipped it so much that it has no value anymore. It has just has no value anymore. So what are we trading on? A brand name? Nobody gives a fuck anymore about your brand name. Like we've grown up and we realized that brands don't mean anything. What matters is who's in charge of it. And the consumer is too savvy now. So now they're going, oh no, we don't want to do that, because they don't know what they're doing. And it's like, okay, we know exactly who the problem is. The problem are the people that are doing this. So let's get rid of those people. And they're like, no, you can't get rid of me. I'm important. You're not important. The audience is important because they're the ones paying you, idiot.
That's been the big controversy for I think the last decade has been, we own the keys to the franchise. Whatever we say goes. But they didn't. I guess they don't understand the fact that when you have a story, it's basically half belongs to the owner, the artist / owner. I guess not the same thing, but then the audience is a big part of it. Like the audience is the one paying the money. The audience is the one reading it. The audience is the one getting invested in diving deep into the story. So it's a back and forth. What they say is like, oh, we own it, so therefore we can do whatever we want with it. And you don't get to say.
Yeah, that's it.
Really, the creator or whoever's in charge should be very much into knowing what the fans want.
How capitalist of them.
Do you remember playing on the playground with people, and there was one person that was always just like I'm Superman. I have all the powers. I'm this. Yes. I'm blah blah blah. That's what the people that run these companies are.
My powers to have all the powers.
Yeah. That's what because they don't want to play fair. They don't want to like have everybody have a moment. They don't want to make it fun for everybody. They don't want to. It's all about them, and that's our enemy. That's the bad guy. It's like, and every company now reminds me of villains from the movies. You know what I mean? Where it's like Water Noose. I'll let 1 million children die before I let this company. Right? Like
exactly.
Or it's what is it? The guy from Shrek. You know what I mean? I'm the king. I make the rules, or whatever it is. It's all the same petty shit.
Yeah, more or less.
I got the leather jacket. I'm in charge of NVIDIA. Get the fuck out of here, you old man.
We're in charge of Star Wars, so whatever they say is canon. Actually,
we live in this bizarre boomer-run gerontocracy where everything has to fit their narrative, even though we're like I'm gonna be 35 this year. You know what I mean? And it's like, when are these old bastards gonna get out of the way and stop ruining the shit from my childhood? Seriously,
these old hippies. Let's see. Orange Man, look, 2 super chats. Speaking of Adolf, ever heard of the Iron Dream?
No.
I don't think so.
I have not.
I don't think
What
so.
is that? Tell us more.
Yeah. Tell me more about Iron Dream. There we
Need to
go.
know more. Intensifies.
All right, technically speaking, we are this $14 away from Pillarman for the day. And see, so you may die, but a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Some of you may donate for Pillarman.
There's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Of Clone Wars season 7.
Oh, I did. I watched all of the Clone Wars season 7. So, but that was like the continuation and the finalization of a pre-existing Disney project that was actually good. So
you didn't watch anything of The Acolyte?
I did not watch The Acolyte.
That's why you're lucky. That was like the death blow that killed all, even the anger towards Star Wars. It just went to apathy. But that
specifically, Acolyte episode 3. Once people got to Acolyte episode 3, a lot of people were just done.
Shit is so bad that I don't even watch like EFAP episodes or reviews of the shows anymore. I just go, nope. I maybe watch the Red Letter Media one and I just move on.
I don't really want to watch any of this.
Just not fun anymore. You know, it's not even fun to make fun of. It's just sad to realize, oh yeah, our entire culture's been raped, and for what reason? Oh, for the short-sighted, low voltage reason for the corporations to make 10% extra.
Right.
And for low voltage idiots to have their diversity. Neat. Okay, cool.
Being a Star Wars fan is like being an Andy Dick fan.
What does that mean?
It means it's over.
Andy Dick is going crazy. Yeah.
He's like he's just like all. If you know anything about what his trajectory has been, he's just been like passing out on the street and overdosing on drugs and stuff, and like lashing out at everybody. And it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, there's no saving this. You know what I mean? It's just it's on a downward slope, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. So just let it die. Let it burn. I mean, and I hate it because like it's my business. But I'm like, me and so many other people in the business are like, maybe I should go work at Home Depot. You know what I mean? Maybe I should just completely give up on this bullshit and just let everything fail. And I'm going to go and, be a dentist assistant or something.
Right.
That's more fun for people.
They're dead set on making it fail. They're dead set on doing all the wrong things.
Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but like, why don't just self-publish, man? Like,
oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But it's one of those things where film is just so hard because you need a team and you need to pay these people. Like they can't do it for free, and you need locations and you need this and that. And, maybe AI will help with that. But the whole thing about film, and it's what I keep talking to my father about with everything, is that film was the highest aspiration for artistic development of something, because we need to go out and do something that's almost real. We need to put people in real locations. We need to put them in real costumes. We need to do real explosions. And now that they've taken all the reality away and they just want to shoot it inside a stupid soundstage that doesn't look real or whatever, what is the reason why people would go to a theater where they have to pay $6 for a soda? Like, why would they do that? We're not giving anybody what they want. Why would they patronize us? But that's
the big thing I was talking about, where it's like if they're, I think Henry Cavill made this, right? It's like it's not the fans' obligation to go to the theater. It's our obligation to get them there.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill has like all these based things to say, and it's like no wonder they hate him so much.
Oh, he's a regular guy, and he's telling you the truth. Dude. They hated him because he was telling the truth.
He likes the things that he works on. Oddly enough, he's a passion for the franchise he works in, and they hate him for that. But
you can't do that. You have to have cynical disdain for the audience and act like you're above them because you went to college or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole thing with like, okay, you're going to make a Star Wars movie. Well, you got to make a movie about Star Wars. Are you making The Witcher, or you got to make a show about The Witcher? Like, not in terms of like it's about the character, but about the idea of you take a step back and have an ironic take on everything, or a deconstruction take on everything. I need the franchise you're working on.
It's like you ever seen like when you were in school and you they give you a frog to dissect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that's what a deconstruction is. It's dead, and you're just like, look at these innards. Aren't you a fan of these innards? You're like, yeah, when it's alive and it's hopping around and I can have it as a pet, not when it's dead on the metal plate in front of me.
Yeah, the idea is that deconstructionist is kind of that, where it's just like, oh, the deconstructionist would like dissect the frog and go, look how look how dead this thing is. Isn't that
Mhm.
awful? This thing, you thought this thing was cool, right? But it's dead. And look at the guts. Look at the guts. They're everywhere. And then, like a proper artist, what I would call now a reconstructionist, would be like, oh, look, it is dead. Here are the innards. It's for all to see and all to be exposed to. But here's what we can learn from this.
Yes.
That's what that's the next part that they kind of forgot about, because modern day, the SJW or whatever you want to call them, the woke people, the modern day
retards.
Yeah, the deconstructionist types are like, they're obsessed with showing you the dark underbelly, and that's it, leaving it there for you. Like, isn't this awful? Like, yes, it is awful, and because their idea would be like, did you know that war is bad? And then that's it. They kind of cut it there.
It's like
yes,
I
yes,
can't.
and is the exact thing. Yeah.
Have you heard of Murder Drones?
No.
Murder Drones is like this really popular. It's made by this. Well, it's animated by the same company that did Digital Circus, and it's fine. I've tried watching it 3 times and cannot get into it because they constantly address their own tropes, and it's so fucking obnoxious.
It's so millennial.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I bet if I was a real teenager, I'd feel like this because they're all like robots or something. And it's like, just experience it. Just do the thing. Shut the fuck up. Tell me the story.
Yep.
It's exactly.
Stop pontificating about your own bullshit in front of me. Nobody cares.
It's not as fun for them to be in on the joke as they think it is.
Do you know how I sell the waifu handbook, Glib? I think I brought this up a few times, but I also deconstruct things in my own work, but I sell it by starting with, in my setting, Santa Claus is the god of humans. And like that's such a wild and stupid fucking thing to say, but it's a proper deconstruction. It's a proper deconstruction of both traditional gods, modern fantasy, and a love for our own like creations. You know,
and it's entertaining, right?
Yeah, it's entertaining, of course.
That's the thing that really, if it's not entertaining, then nothing else works. And that's the thing that these people don't understand. They're not entertaining. They think that they're so funny, but it's like, it's that cringe millennial. You know, what was the thing that I moved it with my freaking mind. You're a cube who can talk. Like, it's all that
freaking mind. Exactly.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider is a stapler.
Well, I mean, there's more to it, but obviously, because there's a whole sales pitch. But I that's how I start it. And once I say that, and like they understand that I'm respecting their intelligence enough to like pitch this whole like my book is comedy based, but you know, there's a lot of fucking effort into it. And as soon as I tell them Santa Claus is the god of humans, you know, a take they haven't really heard unless they're really into C.S. Lewis, you know, like it gets them hooked. And I have sold more copies telling them that than trying to sell any of the mechanics on them, you know, because they appreciate the effort and the love that I made sure to inject into that book.
Yeah, I mean, the passion is very clear. It's kind of why it's so. It just feels so different between these two types of creators, because you might not notice it. You might not notice it, but your brain does.
What your brain does.
Yeah, what your brain does. The thing is, there's a big difference between someone coming to a project out of love and passion and someone coming to a project out of hate and spite. Like, I want to tear this down, I want to break this into pieces, versus I want to create something that you enjoy.
Well, it's
how
do you keep a business going if you hate it?
Well, here's one example I know of is that people have, I was recommended this anime series Motoka Magica, and it's like, okay, what is that? It's a Magical Girl, but it deconstructs the Magical Girl series, but does so from a place of love. Like, the person who made that series loves the Magical Girl series or the genre, but made this out of, and it shows because at the end of, I guess, the main series, we get some cool twists and turns. It has some like dark elements that it in there, like the Magical Girl is like basically selling her soul to a demon or something. But at the end, it had a positive spin on it, where you could still do good, you could still destroy evil, if you want to, like if you put in that effort and are willing to take the consequences, things like that. So it can be a place of love. If you're willing to sacrifice, be a hero.
What is the what's the Sailor Moon theme song? Like fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight.
That's it. Living love by daylight. Yeah, it's made out of all these great things were made out of love. Like Star Wars is made out of love.
That's right, chat. We're all Sailor Moons here. We're sailors.
This is Sailor Moon, and you can too. Let's see. Vlad the Shrike, thanks for the $5 super chat. Says nothing, but this one to offer $5. Thank you much, Vlad the Shrike.
Yes.
If you want to add a message, just kind of like a comment in the chat and tag.
Hold on. Underwater. Let's try that again, sir.
There you go. Please. Nani?
Now you're good.
Let's see.
It's like all those. You ever listen to a Trump impressionist?
Yes.
Yeah, a couple of them.
They all say the same thing, and it's like you cannot make fun of someone unless and be good at it unless you kind of like them.
Right.
At least a little bit, yeah. Let's see. Shay Durag says, "What a lovely conversation about Velma they're having." Velma was so bad. I could only stand in one episode. It was so bad. The creator behind it, without having to hear a single interview, I could tell she was so pretentious. Like it was such a pretentious project. Like she felt like she was smarter than everyone in the project who has come before, who created Velma. Like she's smarter than everyone around her. That's kind of what it felt like. And see, Cardigan just says, "I have mooned sailors in the past." It's just the happy things. It was LD. What are the chances of that He-Man movie will actually be good? I don't know, because it is like Marvel levels of cheesy, but it might work for He-Man. I don't know.
I don't think it's going to work. I think that's going to bomb.
The problem is, I don't think does anyone on the project actually respect it?
I don't know, actually. So. There's some things in there that kind of like red flags, but also they might be toying with these things. Like the main character is stuck on Earth and he works in HR or something like that. But I guess we'll see.
Even at my most arrogant, when I was doing the Pokemon tabletop campaign, I made sure it's like, does this still at least feel like a Pokemon story? Like,
yeah. Okay, so there's someone made this argument. I think I forgot who it was. I want to say it was zero punctuation or something, or maybe it was extra credits back before the dark times. They kind of went over the story, like the feel of games like Rome Total War or Medieval Total War, and how the idea was that it was not historically accurate because you could just do whatever you wanted. But the feel of it was accurate. Like the time in which it represents is accurate. Right? That's how it goes. So it's kind of like that. Yeah, authenticity. So the thing is, when let's say when you're making a story like in the Pokemon world or whatever, you're making a D&D story, you wanted to make it feel like it belongs there, like it's part of the story. That's what when you're having the reins to a franchise, which you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be doing that, but they don't. They just really don't want to do that.
It's why like half of Hell of a Boss doesn't work, but the other half of it's pretty excellent, because like at the end of the day, Hell of a Boss works best when it focuses on Blitz and what's his name and Stolas's relationship, because that's what the writer cares about and is good at writing. Whenever the creator tries to make this commentary on like capitalism or some shit, it always comes off as retarded and cringe.
Because usually when they do that, they have like this base. This is really not based, but base understanding, very, very, very surface level understanding of things, and just from the perspective of someone who hates it. And that's they got it like from their professor or something.
Yeah.
Judy Rex says it's not that you have to like what you're making fun of. You should understand it. Exactly. It's kind of fans typically understand things way more than people who hate them. Exactly. It's kind of the same thing with the comparison to like Rome Total War and things like that. They don't necessarily have to follow the trend or follow the historical events, but the people making those games have to understand the era. They have to understand it. Same way that a creator or even a critic must understand what they're creating or what they're criticizing. And say, Shady Rex says that's not always the case, though. I think critics of Twilight understand it more than many. And they might, because they had to dive deep into it. Like the critics of Twilight, because the fans
it all depends.
Passively enjoy.
Yeah, Twilight's such a bizarre thing to criticize, because like all the critique is real and all the critique is valid, but also it's like that's not the point.
That's the point is that women are like, oh my god, I'm just like her. I want a vampire boyfriend, and you're like, okay,
and have a love triangle with a vampire and a werewolf.
Bro, bro, like I have gooned to so much creepy, weird shit. I do not give a shit if women are like into like wanting to be chased by a vampire and a werewolf. Yeah, I get it.
This is vanilla for me.
It's like, yeah, this is fucking normal. I don't care. Like, oh no, two impossibly hot, two immortal, two incredibly dangerous men want my attention. Dear God, what do I do?
What do I do? Robert Pattinson wants me? Oh my God.
And I'm just a normal girl, not special, and I don't have to work on being pretty and desirable. I just come preloaded with all the things that he likes. How amazing.
Edward Cullen / Cedric Diggory / Batman wants me.
Batman wants me. Oh my
Batman
God.
wants me.
I'm the Penguin.
I think when the Nolan trilogy came out, people like writing women like writing the fan fiction of being in a love triangle with Batman and the Joker.
Oh my God!
Like, there's like, which one do we go with?
Yeah, I mean,
billionaire genius.
We just need to come to terms with the fact that there's a portion of the population that's just gonna like turn everything into a gooning session, no matter what, and that's just what they're gonna do, and then slot them into that position. You know what I mean? Because there are so many people that try to obfuscate that and turn it into like, oh, it's art actually. I'm like, no, it's just pornography for you, and that's fine, but that's your thing.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend it's something else.
That's big romantic
thing is too, you can still have quality pornography. Like that's a thing that does exist. Like you can make it good. Just don't pretend that like your goon session is deep. You know,
My goon session is high art.
Yeah, like you could. What was the one? Metamorphosis. One of the most unpleasant experiences of my fucking life. It's still good. Like, it's just not a good goon material, at least not for me.
Kafka's Metamorphosis?
No. He's
turning into a bug.
I don't know a single thing called Metamorphosis that ever has a happy ending. Like,
well, yeah.
Usually they don't. Yeah, I don't know. That is a trend. Turns out. Let's see. Oh right. Well, there's that. Star Wars sucks. We've been going over that today, and I think pretty good detail. Let's see your chat. We're getting towards the end here. Ooh,
it all comes back to Rey Skywalker.
I did not mean to add to the ADHD levels here and make us completely distracted. I apologize.
What was it? It was just, it all leads back to Rey. Rey ruined it all.
I do need to get running though, boys. Thank you for having me. Appreciate everybody.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Stu. Talk to you later.
Take it easy.
Let's see. Shady Rick says, many critics of Twilight understand its female stimulation. Yeah, that's basically the foundations of it. If we say the same about its fans, are they aware that the series is tickling the female lizard brain parts of the brain? Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. I think she found like she got the idea in a dream or something, and it was just literally a fantasy of hers as she turned into a book. But I think it comes down to it has to be something more than that, because just admitting that it's pornography. It's just embarrassing. So it has to be more. It has to be like has deeper meaning than just titillation. It has to be more. But speaking of books and deeper meaning and titillation, here's a video on BookTOK and how it normalized a bunch of things that kind of really need to leave behind. I know that I've seen a lot of people, a lot of these, I guess, booktubers talk about BookTOK and how awful it is. Let's check it out.
Is that TikTok?
Maybe.
Yeah, like the book TikTok segment, I guess.
Leaving with BookTOK for a second time on this channel. No, I'm kidding. I actually love BookTOK. As I always say, I think it has truly done amazing things. From introducing people to reading again, to creating a welcoming global reading community, to most importantly, creating countless wonderful opportunities for authors to find their readers through the platform, publish their books, and achieve massive success with their stories. But with all the benefits BookTOK introduced to readers and authors alike, It also created some concerning and quite problematic patterns in the reading community. Ones that are heavily normalized and that could potentially have seriously damaging effects, not only on us as readers, but on authors as well. So in this video, I want to go over 8 of these toxic patterns and discuss why we need to leave each one of them
All right, let's see. Let's check them out.
behind from my perspective as both a reader and
I do know it's kind of strange if you don't know the culture of TikTok or BookTOK, but I've heard other authors or people talk about BookTOK. It's awful. It is everything you hate about Twitter. Twitterati getting mad at everything. They are just awful, awful people. So let's check it out. Awful community.
I'm of the opinion that TikTok is the worst social media website.
It probably be the case, especially because they spy on you. So, but I guess who doesn't now?
Yeah,
aspiring author myself. Welcome to the channel where I yap about stories in books, movies, and shows. If you're interested in discussing these things, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Now, let's get into it. So the first toxic pattern that I want to talk about is one that has gotten so normalized on BookTOK, but I genuinely think it harms both readers and authors equally. And it's the promotion of the same books over and over again in that space. From The Housemaid by Frida McFadden to The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood to any Emily Henry book, it seems like we keep talking about and getting recommended the same books repetitively. And obviously there's nothing wrong with that. These books are popular for a reason, right? But it is quite problematic for both authors and readers for 2 major reasons. For one, I feel like BookTOK started out as a space where people genuinely cared about finding books they would enjoy.
Says, LD, did you know the creator of Twilight made a male version of it? It's about a normal guy getting fought over by a werewolf tomboy and a goth vampire. Is that real? That doesn't feel real to me. I feel like it's a joke. I did like the fact that like some people have claimed that what was it called? Dispatch. That game was Twilight for guys.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because you do have that dichotomy there. It's like this: you want the blonde, beautiful girl who likes you, or do you want the troublesome, edgy goth girl, tomboy character who was an ex-villain and stuff?
Books that they would not have heard about anywhere else online. But now it seems like it has slowly become a space where people want to read what everyone else is reading.
Also, in Dispatch, they both just like you. It's like in Twilight. In Dispatch, you just exist and they just like you already. So it's also that whole aspect of you show up and you get a vampire boyfriend and a werewolf boyfriend.
What is the saying? Like 70% of life is just showing up.
It's just showing up. Yes, as long as you're there, yeah. You just show up.
You might as
just
well.
Because they want to stay on trend and be in the loop about what's popular. So I feel like we are getting less challenged and encouraged to pick up new and more diverse reads now. Ones that could be out of our comfort zones or ones that are real.
So it's real. The werewolf girl. I gotta tell Shad about that because he likes Twilight for some reason. It's all part of the Mormon mafia. Well, I gotta tell Shad about that. See what he says.
And in a completely new style.
What is it called, by the way? What's it called?
Because of that BookTOK mentality. And I think it limits us all as readers. And for 2, I think this harms authors. Because with us reading the same types of books over and over again, the publishing industry will pressure these authors to write certain types of books within certain genres since they sell.
Is that why we have this plague of romantasy taking over everything? Is because of BookTOK? Is that what happened?
I guess.
Like the people who like create all like 70% of the conversation about BookTOK, they're all just like Twilight horny fans, and they just recommend the same romantasy books over and over again until it became mainstream. Is that what happened? The BookTOK was ground zero. It spread the plague.
Which will lead to a true lack of diversity in the books and storylines that get published. And that's such a shame because there are so many interesting, compelling, and fresh new stories out there that no one is giving a chance to. So I think for everyone's benefit, we need to start promoting new books from different genres.
Like not just romantasy. What about regular romance or sci-fi or mystery?
Different authors and
yeah, but I mean that's what they're buying. That's what the female cohort is buying. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
it's kind of weird that there's only female stuff on there. Like, shouldn't there be, you think, a little bit stuff that's not just romantasy? It kind of feels forced.
there's always somebody realizing that they're in a minority of people that actually care about reading something good, while the rest of them are just reading bullshit.
And then, there's not a lot of people who read. It's not a lot of men who read, especially like this. There's a lot of pressure for men not to read because how dare you be a man and read fiction? Can't do that.
I guess.
At least that's from one side of the aisle. As like the Andrew Tate is like, I don't read books. It's
Well, when I went to the bookstore that's nearby me, it's like it's so feminine. Like it's all this there's a bunch of sludge too. I find that most of these book deals are just like ways to pay people off or something. You know,
Yeah.
There's here it's my biography by Barack Obama. You know, I'm like I don't want to read that. I don't care about that. And then there's the romance section. I want to go to the banned bookstore where all the secret evil stuff is because that's where the truth is. You know,
where all the good books are.
Yeah, where all the good books.
Oh man, I found this like really cool, like little niche, like used bookstore. The guy's really nice. It was in San Antonio.
Nice.
And the guy was awesome. Like he had these fantastic. I couldn't believe. I don't even want to tell you about this actually because I don't want to go in there and pillage this guy's stuff. But I do want him to have business. So I forgot what the store was called, unfortunately. But this guy was really not, like it was so old fashioned. I guess we had to use like a roundabout way to use a credit card because he just usually took cash. So it took like 5 minutes to do the credit card thing, which I didn't mind at all. It's fine. I love that store. It's a small store. It's really cool. But they had like a lot of old like pulp novels, like from the era.
Nice.
The covers are all damaged and stuff like that. It was so cool. I got some really awesome deals on Lee Child. Like I found like a Lee Child hardcover for like a couple of dollars. Like it's fantastic. This is great. But I was like, surely this is way more money, but it's not. I went away with a big haul of cool vintage books for like almost no cost. Like it was a lot. It was a lot of cool books for maybe $20-$30. It was super awesome. I mean, they were damn.
I like that authenticity where people actually care about what they're doing. That's the thing I'm looking for.
Like some of them have the old Del Rey kind of cover and everything, like old school art and stuff. It's awesome. It's really good.
It makes you feel something.
Absolutely. I love it. I love that store. It's really good stuff. It's LD for fun. I started making Warhammer Romantasy titles in Gemini. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. The Gene Stealer Who Stole My Heart. It's pretty funny. Like as I said before, the messing around with the AI is fun. They'll give you some wacky, interesting stories and ideas as long as you put in some fun stuff. But it's how it goes. But I wouldn't just copy paste it and publish it. Like the AI is good to jump off of, to go back and forth with ideas with and stuff. But it's and for fun. But when it comes down to serious writing and serious ideas and serious publishing, just don't use it.
There's no
awful.
shortcuts.
Yeah, there's no short. It's awful. Like if you're asking to help you with hey, can you write this scene for? It might be good at editing, a little bit.
Checking. Well, it's like it's just a compendium of all the previous computation put together. So I use it sometimes to research, like as a Google searching thing.
Yeah.
And then it reformats it. But in my writing, I do it all by hand.
And what else was it? So I would go back and forth with it. Like I really helped it. I went back and forth with it to help hammer down the any holes or anything like that in the mystery of Lady Midnight. I did overhauling it to shore everything up. It's so much better now. I really overhauled it and it's almost bulletproof. But I had to do most of the work still. You're like, here's a rundown of it. I was like, well, yeah, but what about this, and this? Oh yeah, you're right. It's like you still have to do a lot of the work. It still relies on you, but it does.
I'm also egotistical about it. I'm like, you're not better than me, Gemini. I'm better than you.
Exactly. But even then, I was like, man, okay, what about it? Didn't give me any ideas. It's kind of like, okay, you point out a good point. Here's my answer to that. And then I would say, well, what about this, and this? Or what about this plot hole? Or what about this aspect of the mystery? Like, it always go, oh yeah, you're right. Here's my answer. So it's not thinking for you. You still have to have good instincts if you use AI. It's not going to do everything for you, especially if you're using it for a creative purpose.
on BookTok. The second problematic pattern we need to stop normalizing.
Yeah, it's so there's a lot of like people who do whole like whole AI channels that just tell you stories, and it's fine. It's slop, whatever. It's like modern day pulp, I guess. Some people just don't even bother getting rid of the prompt. Like I heard one where it's like it just begins with "Sure, here is a story about."
Oh my god.
Where the same story last time, but I changed the circumstance of the characters. Like it's just one story they're shopping around in ChatGPT, and they have ChatGPT this reorder the words and make it a little bit different, and make new titles. And some
make
people
no mistakes.
Yeah, they make no mistakes. And there's people who have in the comments, you'll see people who have heard a bunch of these stories. Like, man, this Dr. Shin again. Like there's repetitive names that are used over and over and over again. Josephine is back. The Josephine story. They're so repetitive in names. They almost become characters in and of themselves. It is pretty funny stuff. But anyway, Ben Parker says, I've seen some ChatGPT stuff someone had in Write. It's highly repetitive at the point it's hard to read. Yeah, it really is. Like HFY, that's what got annoying to me because I tried reading some HFY stories, humanity fuck yeah stories. They were fun at first, but then it became so repetitive that it's like, okay, I already know where the story is going right from the get go. It became so repetitive, like to the point where it's like, okay, so humanity is getting like kicked in the teeth, and then suddenly they're so awesome, no one can stop them. Okay, not even like 100 years pass or whatever. It's like. The next second, actually, we were hiding. It's like Wakanda. Like we were hiding. Wakanda looks like a third world country from everyone's viewpoint. But suddenly, you mess with us, we have like tanks and alien powerhouse weapons and stuff. And that's kind of what a lot of humanity fuck yes stories are like. It's like we get dominated by an alien species, and then as revenge, we immediately bring out the big guns and start just wiping people out. It's fun. The first few stories. But there's like no growth or anything. It's just like, okay, it's time to see humanity just kick butt. Some of them are fun when they have a little bit more growth, but it's like you read 10 of these or 15 or 20, like, okay, well, I've read this story already.
We need to have some vulnerability and back and forth for it to work, really.
Yeah, well, I think one of the best stories I've read of humanity fuck yeah was brought up the idea of genocide, because the idea was that humanity was basically nuked by our planet. One of our planets in our solar system was, or our empire or whatever, was wiped out by an alien invasion. And then no one did anything. It was illegal, but no one did anything about it. Like the council we were a part of, the alien council we were a part of, did nothing about it. And then we had to endure that alien race like dunking on us and celebrating everything and getting honors. And then we could do nothing about it. Like, okay, well, humanity's weak in their eyes, so it's better that we appease the stronger people as opposed to try to defend the weaker guys. And so at that point, humanity knew its place, but then started working on secret weapons and everything, and eventually they came to power, and it was time for revenge, like maybe 20 years later. And the idea was that the main leader of the humanity at that time said, okay, we're not going to get revenge. We're going to genocide the guys who did this to us, because if we just hit them back, there could be retaliation. They'll wait and they'll get stronger, and they might wipe us out this time for good. So the idea was we're going to wipe them out, not because it is out of simple revenge, because one, it'll wipe out the opportunity for them to fight back, and two, it'll show the council that we are indeed to be feared. So it was really crazy, because it did bring up the idea like this is wrong. And the leader is like, no, it's for our survival. So like, do you allow the chance for your people to be wiped out later, or do you commit genocide on the other guys now? That was kind of interesting. Like the idea of like, we don't want to do this, but the way that the universe is set up, we kind of have to, if we want to survive later on. And it worked out. Like we ended up genociding the entirety of the other species, men, women, children. They kind of emphasized that. And then not just the men, the women and the children. And then it worked out. Like the galaxy, the council said, oh, we're sorry. We'll give you more respect from now on. like genociding them worked out, and it's a really dark kind of ending.
I see no downside to this.
There wasn't one. That was it. There wasn't a downside to genociding that species, and it kind of goes to show you that it's kind of scary that if they genocide us, there would be no consequence for them either. They wouldn't have been. So it was like a really interesting exploration into that side of reality. Like, whoa, that's kind of weird. Anyway,
is one that actually has to do with readers on BookTOK. And it's forgetting the entire plots of books after reading them. So if you're out of the loop, it turns out many readers on BookTOK have this habit of forgetting the entire plots of the books they read and not remembering a single thing about them. And yeah, it's bad. Because listen, this is not me judging. It's normal to not remember every single detail of a book you read, but forgetting the entire plot as if you haven't read it in the first place, for me, that's problematic. Because at that point, why even read the book?
The
Isn't
choice
one
of
of the
words.
reasons we
I mean,
read
you're a
to
reader.
find new stories that inspire us?
You're a reader, and you're using normalize and problematic as if like, oh, being abnormal's bad. You know what I mean? Or oh, this is a problem. That's bad. Like it's so feminine. I hate that.
it kind of is.
I hate that way of thinking about shit. Like, no, I'm a weirdo, dude. What do you want from me? I'm not saying I'm normal, but
Being
I'm
normal
me.
is highly overrated.
I am a person. I am not normal. I am a human being. I have a range of emotions and conditions.
Exactly.
Please accept me, please.
Reading experiences for us and change us throughout the reading process.
It's a Dave Musselman. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. David Musselman says, I think HFY is a cool concept of of humans actually being a good force in the galaxy. We need more of it. Maybe less AI though. Yeah, we need more like organic HFY stories and less like stories that are clearly produced by ChatGPT. I mean, it's like the verbiage, the terminology, the syntax, very clearly ChatGPT. It doesn't help that a lot of these HFY stories are read by obvious AI voices.
Oh my god! I don't even know if I've ever run into one that like was like that.
There's whole genres, and some of them pretty interesting in concept. Like I ran into a series where they asked the question like, what if this character entered this universe? Like, what if Doctor Doom appeared in the universe of the
book? I see.
So it is pretty interesting that way, and it would never happen outside of something indie. But I don't think anyone's going to work on that. And it was AI done. It was done by AI.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Anyway, chat, we're now just $4 away from Pillarman of the day.
I feel like a major contributing factor behind this problematic pattern is how BookTOK kind of turned reading into the sort of competition, unfortunately, where we're more interested in our next read.
This is
and
so female.
How far
I mean,
I read more than you. I'm so special.
It really does seem like BookTOK is dominated by women, and especially according to what they recommend, which is essentially apparently romantasy.
Because me and my friends that are like, hey, did you read this book? It's like Oswald Spengler. It's like Evola. It's like all this like, you know what I mean? Have you read Livy? Is it historical? Like it's all this like ancient stuff, and we're having philosophical discussions. It's not a status symbol. It's like, dude, you need to read this because it's cool. Dude, have you read Dune? Have you read all of Dune? It's so fun. Check this quote out. Like it's not competitive at all. It's like I want to talk to you. I want to have this conversation with my bros about this thing that they haven't experienced. And there's a huge distinction there. It just sounds so performative and feminine to have like competitive book reading. Like, come on, bro.
I think it used to be, like I said with David Arneson. It's like he didn't make Blackmore because he wanted to have representation or something. He made Blackmore because he thought it was cool. It's like I had a lot of horror stories, and I want to add sci-fi elements into fantasy and Conan the Barbarian style storylines because it's cool, but with tanks and stuff.
Are on our reading goal, rather than being interested in just sitting with what we finished reading for a while, reflecting on it, and deciding how we feel about it. It feels like we're speed dating books now, which again is so harmful to our reading experience, at least in my opinion.
That was my feeling with when the first time I saw Clockwork Orange. I was like, I don't know how to feel about this movie.
Really?
I had to take some time to reflect on it. Like, what was this about? Let me kind of quantify this and see what I liked about it, why I liked it, if I liked it at all.
Yeah.
But then I reflected on it, like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
I think it's great. I think it's transcendental in a way where
It's
you know,
really good. I also like the little flavor of NASDAQ being in there.
I'm convinced that Alex is faking it, and he's just like going along with it because he realizes what gives him power is the same. It's just bullshitting with the government. At the
Exactly.
end, he's like, all right, I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm going to become a bullshitter just like everybody else, and that's why the ending. Well, the book is different from the movie, but that's what I thought in the movie. I was like, oh, Alex is just like him and the prime minister or whatever. And he's
like,
not
cured.
cured. Yeah,
he's not.
No,
he's not. Because the ending is him. His fantasy is just reverting back to his old ways.
Yeah. The only difference is that he's. It's like the fantasy is everybody's cheering him on, and he's not like he's no longer outside the in group. Now he wants the praise of the group, and that's basically what the quote unquote lesson he learned was. He learned the wrong lesson because the society itself is sick. And everybody that he was surrounded by was like a sad sack or an idiot or something like that. And he realizes, oh, I can prosper if I just become a bullshitter like the rest of these people.
Yeah, I mean he's like a sociopath or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely what he would be into.
Well, I also thought I'm not sure that he's a sociopath as much as I feel like there's also a polemic that Kubrick is pointing out that modern day society like completely denies the male instinct as like, because he's like, you know, he's having the imagination of prosecuting Jesus or whatever as the Roman guard or whatever, and he's like, oh, so his personality is like out of place in time, but there was a time and place where Alex would be a valuable member of society. It's
like
just
Caligula.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
funny because
Caligula is like American Psycho come to life, which is awesome.
It pretty much. That's what I was thinking about Clockwork Orange. It kind of is it's like British Psycho.
yes, that's right.
A little bit.
That's very good. Yeah, I never thought.
Run more rampant because Patrick Bateman is a little more controlled, a little bit more. Like he puts
corporate.
It's very corporate. Yeah, he's a little bit more controlled, even though he's still insanely insane. He's a little bit more controlled than Alex, who really has nothing holding him back.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
Palestiana, they should $10 super chat. Thank you much, Palestiana. Appreciate it. My teacher said I had higher reading comprehension for my age, and I can remember at least major plot points in books I read years ago. That's what they said about me, because I was like I think I was like a whole level. Like I was in high school, but they said I was writing at a college level in early high school. Reading and writing at a college level.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and I could like easily. I can remember at least major plot points in books I read years ago. Not remembering the plot in general is not good. Is not a good sign. A plot is something you kind of remember. It's kind of the main thing you would remember, unless you have the elements of the plot are so crazy that they just take over your memory. Like I think like Rush Hour is like that. Like I remember the interaction between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. But I don't always remember the plot of the movies. I think with Lethal Weapon, right? The plots of these movies are all basically the same.
Is so fucking kino. I watched it again the other day. Mel Gibson is amazing.
He's really good in all of them.
He's like telling the guy to kill him. Kill this guy! Kill this guy! I'm just like laughing my ass off.
But I want to go South Africa. But you're black.
Hey, I think your daughter likes me. You don't lay my hand on my daughter. If you lay my hand on my daughter, I'll beat your ass up. You'll try.
See, it's such good interaction that we get with Rush Hour and Lethal Weapon, and I forget the plot sometimes. Like, what was the plot of that movie? I just remember their interaction, how like big the personalities are. Especially because they all just technically have the same plots, like some guy doing something. And that's about it. There's some criminal conspiracy that they have to stop. Follow the rich white man.
Yeah. I mean, there's all that, but most of it's because dialogue is what drives visual performative media. It's the interactions that pushes the plot forward because it's the people that are involved, and the plot is just kind of there as structure to contain that progression that happens between characters. That's why it's so hard to write a story about a guy that doesn't talk to anybody, because it's all dialogue driven.
Yeah, I think like Rush Hour 3 is like there's something about the Yakuza and them trying to like get new leaders or something like that with some list that's a tattooed on the back of her head. But I don't really remember that as much as I remember like the all the interactions between Jackie Chan and like how Chris Tucker was demoted back down to like beat cop or something. And he tries to he got dates for him and Jackie. He's like, the big one's yours. Or like, I was had sex with a man. I'm a woman.
Chris Tucker had a generational run in that era.
He was good. He was really good because he could sing and he could dance. He was really funny.
Friday is a great movie that barely has a plot. The plot is just they need to pay back a guy.
A lot of the like the 90s, a lot of 90s movies, like really memorable ones, are just people hanging out and interacting with each other.
I fucking
Clerks.
love that, dude. I
Like,
love
that's
movies
Clerks,
that
right?
are just like just slice of life type shit.
Like Clerks was very much like peak of that.
Remember the movie Waiting, where they're like
Yes,
shitty
I
restaurants?
remember Waiting. I don't remember anything about the plot at all of Waiting, but I do remember like how gross it was and like just the thing like Batwing.
Yeah, disgusting, and with a bunch of celebrities in it.
Yeah, but it was really funny. It's a
We used to have movies that were just about stuff happening, and it was just like life. You know what I mean? And now movies, they all have this like weird attempting to be something, but they're not really. It's really bizarre. Like movies don't have to be about anything; they can just be about what's happening.
Well, they're not really about life anymore. They're about the movie. Like they're making their movies are about the movie.
Yeah, it's like American Graffiti. It was just what happened on the last day of your high school experience, and there's a dance, and you're racing cars around, and you're trying to get laid, and you're wondering if you should go to another city or go to college. Like there's that kind of stuff, and I thought that was really good because that is a moment in people's lives. It's about life, and I think that there's a lot of movies these days are like they're afraid to talk about anything real. You know what I mean? It's all like ideological conjecture.
It goes down to one of the more baseline problems of today, where a lot of modern day people are afraid of authenticity.
Yes.
You see why she's holding her microphone there? It's part of that. Like there's a lot of people who hold their microphone now because people are afraid of being authentic. They're afraid of being emotionally sincere, but they crave it. So they'll go and they'll seek out people who seem like they're authentic, like a guy just talking in his bedroom. And part of that is purposefully looking like you're less professional.
Oh my god, performative relatability, where like people have streamer houses or whatever, but they don't actually live in the house. It's like a bedroom, but it's not their real bedroom. It's like it's like a set. That shit is insane.
But that's why she's holding her microphone. A lot of people are holding microphones now in their videos because it looks less professional. It looks more authentic and less like you don't have enough to buy a mic lapel or a lapel mic or something.
How am I supposed to be playing Helldivers while I'm on a stream?
Oh, usually, yeah, I remember that. That was one of the funniest bits in the first shower movie. It gets him like this needless fight, but it's hilarious.
Which one?
Where he's like, "What's up, man?"
Oh yeah,
the first one. That was you can't do that today. You just can't.
Yeah, everybody's divided on purpose.
And so Shady Rex says there's still plenty of slice of life movies. Yeah, but they're not as prominent anymore. Also, a lot of them are trying to push a message about modernity. Yeah, again, even if they're about slice of life today, it's not about just people hanging out. It has to be about the top. It has to be about modernity. Yeah, something.
It's a message about how bad things are, and then it's like an ideological solution or something like that. But it's not. It's this like it just leaves this like gross feeling in your soul or something.
That brings me back to Smiling Friends. Like I said before, the reconstruction part comes after deconstruction, so it's kind of like here's all the gooey guts of the frog, but here's what we can learn from it. So Smiling Friends does exactly that. It makes fun of modernity. It makes fun of the society at large, but then it leans into it. It makes comedy out of it. People are like Charlie and Pim are not miserable. Like they're having fun. Like Charlie is having a lot of fun. Like it's not about everything being miserable. It's about living in the world and kind of dealing with it and finding your own happiness. And what's the show called? Smiling Friends.
Smiling Friends. Yeah, that's the optimistic side of it. That's what the point of the show
it's not about being miserable, which is what the deconstructionist vision of a show is. Like where they just show how miserable everything is and everything sucks and it could be better. Smiling Friends is about Pim and Charlie are just normal dudes living in like this, I would say, grotesque world, this grotesque reflection of modernity. But not only are they okay with it, their job is to make other people smile too.
Well, they're normal people, and I think that's the thing that gets me about the show is that it's like Pim and Charlie are just guys. They're just dudes. They're
not psychologists or anything like that. Like they're just guys who like just live normal lives. Charlie's probably
hello. I don't want my guts out. Hello.
Hello. I'm spoken. But I mean, it's a crazy wackadoo world, but it's always like grotesque and gross. Like it's like really is that Newgrounds era of a world, but they're okay with it. They're running with it. They're they're not asking for the world or anything like that. Their whole job is to go out there and willingly make people smile. And neither Charlie nor Pim is like, oh, I got to go work again. They're cool with it. They like their job as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like real life. It's like, oh, I have a job, I can support myself, I can play video games. Like that's the normal existence, and they're just presenting that. But then there's problems that are related to the current day, and then there's ways of dealing with it that make you feel better. And that's The Simpsons, that's Rick and Morty, that's everything is like that, because that's what humans are like. We deal with problems, and we want to see the good side of it. That's human nature.
Exactly. So that's another reason why I like Smiling Friends, because it does poke fun at modernity the same way a deconstructionist show would, but it gives you some hope at the end of the tunnel. It's like, okay, here's what we can learn from this. Here's the positive side of all of this, things like that. Abelsman says, I came back and was confused why I couldn't hear anything, and then I realized it was muted.
Many such cases.
Let's see. Shady D-Rex is awesome. I watch a lot of Shady D-Rex videos. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely.
But most importantly, as an aspiring author myself, I feel like it's so sad that authors have put so much of their time, like literally years, crafting these stories, and then some readers forget about them after spending a few days, sometimes a few hours, reading them just like that because they just want to attain a certain reading goal they set for themselves. So I think we should definitely stop normalizing this. The next problematic pattern is actually one I touched on lightly in the first one, and it's the repetitive storylines in books that are heavily promoted on BookTOK. I feel like
I feel like the whole thing with romantasy is like they have one story that they keep telling, and it's just it is kind of switch out the beast, the monster they fall in love with.
Yeah, for the most part, stemmed from publishers prioritizing BookTOK, which is understandable since they want the books that their authors publish to actually sell. That, along with the fact that readers are not choosing a wider variety of books to read, causes these publishers to pressure the authors to write what's in demand. Even authors themselves start to feel like they could only succeed with one type of story. So they end up implementing the same repetitive storyline in their books. And that's so problematic because it just robs all of us. For authors, they don't get to write what they want to write. And for readers, we are robbed from so many opportunities of getting new plots and storylines that are fresh and interesting and compelling in new ways. For me, this is especially true in romantasy and romance. Don't get me wrong, romantasy is still one of my favorite genres, but unfortunately, every single romantasy that is getting published now just blends into all the others. The shadow-wielding male characters, the badass fighter female characters, the enemy...
Unless I am the most special. I don't know if you were here when we watched that video where it's like she made like this whole play, the one woman play about making fun of this whole trope where it's like, why would he like me? I'm just a girl. Unless I am the most special.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I'm the most generic special person ever.
Yeah, and it's like she points out that like, yo, I'm forever 17. I'm a really good archer, and but waist, I got huge boobs, teeny tiny waist. Make fun of all that stuff. See, Tyler Preston, thanks for the 71 months of support. Thank you much. Tyler Preston says BookTOK Booka is a new lifetime. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. The new Lifetime Hallmark movies.
Lovers dynamics. It's just so boring at this point. Do you know how hard it is to find an original romantasy now? So let's stop normalizing this, you guys. Speaking of storylines, I want to highlight the writing in the books that are heavily getting promoted on BookTOK, which unfortunately is excessively simplified. Before, you could really find wonderfully and intricately written books on there, but now, as the publishing industry has kind of pushed authors to publish more frequently, leaving less space for them to hone in on their craft, it seems like
people say this is a very similar reason why there's a debate between dropping the entire season in one go or waiting out each episode like a week or something like that. Because if we just drop the entire show, you could just you can binge it all in one setting. You probably shouldn't, but you can. Otherwise, you have the whole thing about every episode is a week away, but that also gives a whole week for people who have watched the episode to conjecture, to plan, to reflect on the episode. What was it? What happened in the episode? Was there anything that can give me a clue as to what's going to happen in the next episode? Let me theorize. It gives you time to think, which is not something you technically get when they drop an entire season right away. It's a Ben Parker says her complaint about original Romantasy is like LD's gripe about original HFY. Yeah, it all kind of blends into each other after a while. Like I do like HFY a little bit, but it gets repetitive. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Unless it kind of goes out of its way to explore something new, it's kind of the same thing over and over and over again.
Writing quality has taken a hit. And to be honest, as an aspiring author, I love beautifully written books because they teach me something new every time about so many different things, like how to phrase things.
And really, ChatGPT is not a beautiful writer. It's just kind of blunt, and like it tries to be, I think, sometimes, but it's not really.
Differently, and come up with new ways of expressing the same emotions.
I think the introspect M has a good point here. This is nothing new. Pulps were not meant to be remembered or thought deeply on. They're just to pass the time. Not all writing, in fact, most writing is not meant to be literature. That's
yeah, it's
true.
supposed to be fun.
That's exactly what Ian Fleming said about his own work. There's literature and then there's books.
Exactly. I don't make masterpieces. I make crap.
I make what do you say? Is it like stories for red-blooded men and train stations and automobiles and shit? Like it's just for the pulp nature of it, which is fine. But
Robert E. Howard he didn't really want to make. I mean, here's the thing about Robert E. Howard. Robert E. Howard he made Conan for fun. He loved history. He just wanted to make stories kind of with a historical setting, but he was passionate about it. Like, yeah, he's like, okay, my stuff is probably going to blend in together because I found a pattern that works. I got to make it continuously published by Weird Magazine, but it's like he still cared about it. That's kind of the main thing here. My book. He's like, I know my stories are like blended together, the same plot over and over, but behind it all was a lot of passion. Like he wrote like a big essay about the Hyborian age, what it's like there, how it's not. I'm not trying to co-op history. I'm not trying to like say this is what really happened or anything. I just made this setting for my story because he wanted to do historicals without being shackled by real life events. So that's kind of why I made the Hyborian age.
Yep, it's true.
There's a lot of passion. So despite everything, there's a lot of passion behind it. There's not really a lot of passion behind someone making ChatGPT stories and copying them. It's like, okay, here's a style of story. Let me copy paste a new one. So old school pulp, even though they knew it was going to probably be forgotten about or blend in, it's like, I'm making this to make a buck, but I care about it. At least they had passion behind it.
So fun. So it's such a shame that many books that are always getting promoted on BookTOK now all kind of have that Wattpad writing to them. Not hating on Wattpad, by the way. I grew up
even though you should
reading Wattpad stories too. So I know
this is like loving the slop but wanting it to be better. That's
yeah. I was like, why isn't the slop better? And see, I don't think they should stop making HFY or anything like that. I just like, okay, well, it's blending together. I'm not really into reading it anymore. I read one story. It's the same story.
Yeah.
See, my jaw tightened when another silvery peal of laughter floated over the bar. I assume.
Ugh.
Look at the other one on the right. Finally mine. This is not beautiful syntax. This is like a tweet. This is Twitter dialogue.
Reading on Wattpad, by the way. I grew up reading Wattpad stories too. So I know the addictive nature of that writing. But while I also value books that don't necessarily have a writing style I like, since I also view them as an opportunity to teach me something in terms of my reading and writing tastes, I still feel like it is a bit concerning how we are getting books that challenge our reading levels less and less now. I'm not saying we should have these classics level books written now, but I think we should not complain about how many words are on a page of a book, like some people do on BookTOK,
who fucking
where they
does that?
skim read.
They complain about how many words are on a
That's so
page.
stupid.
Why? What
are you, Down syndrome?
I also think like a smaller font so they can like print fewer pages, I guess. But I mean, come on.
Skip paragraphs, or even only read dialogue. I believe all these things led authors to excessively simplify their writing.
I mean, imagine just going through this book and only reading the dialogue you find. You're gonna skip out on so much. You're gonna miss so much.
I'm a pretty good reader. Like I read very fast. Sometimes I have to like go back and that kind of stuff. But I can't imagine you're enjoying something and you're like, this is really well written, but there's too many words on this page. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's getting
There's got to be a better way.
The fifth
It's got to be a morning after.
problematic pattern that we have normalized because of BookTok is the lack of in-depth reviews. I feel like with the underhyped, appropriately hyped, overly hyped challenge, and the silent reviews, and the yes, no, maybe trend that have pushed both creators and readers to interact with fast-paced.
Let's see, Hamilton Burger, this is the 32 months of support. Appreciate that. Seriously, why does anyone expect death in TikTok? Yeah, it's mostly, it's like TikTok as a platform is kind of made to be about shallowness.
It's made to be Chinese propaganda.
Well, that's also true.
Recommendations due to the nature of BookTok, there has become a lack of in-depth reviews that dive deep into the reasons why a book was one they liked or one they didn't. Now it seems like
I'm sensing a demand with not enough supply going around.
we are lucky if we get one reason behind why someone liked, disliked, or DNF'd a book. I personally want to know all the details, what made them excited to read it, the elements that worked well, if the character...
Yeah, exactly. If you only read the dialogue, I better not ever find you critiquing comic book fans. All right? Because the topic doesn't really need to read anything else. The dialogue is what you read, and then you take in the syntax of a prose novel is essentially the art of a comic book. So you take in the art of the comic book, what's going on in there, whether it be the colors, the positioning, what have you, and you read the dialogue. But yeah, if you're reading a prose novel and you're just reading the dialogue, like you get no opinions on comic book fans. Okay,
but isn't that funny though? How it's like there's all these different mediums and people want to have like this weird competitive thing about, oh, I read novels and you read a comic. Like it doesn't matter. They're all different. They're all specific. They all do something different. If you enjoy one over the other, there's no problem with that.
I think they're
it's
all
when
different.
you don't. It's when you ignore something good that's the problem. And it's like if you haven't read Watchmen, then you're missing out on something that's literarily interesting, I think.
That's kind of when I hear people say, well, I don't read manga or watch anime because I'm into Western stuff. Well, it's not really it's not one genre. Like anime and manga are just from another country. Like, there's so many genres.
Yeah.
You're kind of cutting yourself off from an entire section of stories because it's foreign.
Well, that's the thing is like if you like something and you're like, or you don't like something and it's based on an aesthetic value or something, I can understand that. Like I'm not a big manga guy, manga, whatever. I'm not that guy. But if something is good and that's the format, then I'm all in. I still think Akira is one of the greatest comic books I've ever read. I've
never read the comic book, but the movie was awesome.
Dude, the comic book is even better.
I have no doubt.
It's so worth it. The fact that you're an anime and manga guy and you haven't read it, I will hold that against you. No,
I was tempted to actually buy it like a few months ago. But what was it? Yeah, because from the movie, even though I liked the movie, it felt like the movie was leaving a lot out. Like
there's a whole narrative after the movie ends in the book. In the books,
I gotta read it.
You got it, dude. You'll love it. I'm telling you. And the artist is really talented. So, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the Akira movie was where I think a lot of modern day anime voice actors got their start or got a big boost to their careers at least.
It transcends its format. It's pulpness.
Yeah.
And I like
it. Says, LD, you may want to enunciate when saying TikTok. It sounds like dick talk. I mean, same thing. I think my pronunciation is way more accurate, actually, going by how they're into romanticy.
Are you guys reading books on dick cock?
Let's see. Where are we now? Cock talk. Let's see. Carget says, you mean I like how you deny watching Kirsch and the other VTuber? Yeah, exactly. I totally watch Kirsch. I don't watch Kirsch, but apparently I agree. Apparently.
When's Pecora on? I love VTubers.
Yeah. The only one I really know about is Pippa, because she streamed with Mr. Medeker.
Exactly.
Were well developed and what the lacking parts of the story were, in their opinion. Because a simple yes or no will not do it for me. Some people take a lot of time before choosing their next read because it's an investment for them in so many ways. Like with their time, for example, they don't want to waste it and they don't have all day to read because they're just busy. So those in-depth reviews are so important and we should definitely bring them back. Now, speaking of book reviews, do you know where you will never find lacking ones? On my new channel, Read by Reem. This is officially my second channel where I will be posting reading vlogs, reading popular books for the first time.
Okay, I think it's over.
Yes.
Or as a little ad, I don't know. But anyway, chat, we'll go over to stream memes, chat, streaming memes. And we have reached the threshold for preliminary. Absolutely. So, as I prepare for us to go to stream memes, lower your volume or raise your volume, chat, whatever you prefer. Loud clip incoming. And Peliman, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ay, 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 ay.
Yes, best chat. Thank you very much for your generosity. Fantastic stuff. We're on the stream memes. What is this? Oh yeah, it's that's the Gendy Clone Wars, which was awesome actually. And you be wary of my freak, for it is unmatched. Me, a European with a horrible sleep cycle, trying to blend in with the Americans.
We've all been there.
And see, give us some medicine, boys. I don't believe that man's even ever been to medical school. It's imagine a Toy Story guys are just in Lord of the Rings. I guess that what zipper would this be? I guess they're kind of like in the orc's dick or something. And see, lay off the slop. They got look at all this. Look at all this. A Forspoken. I moved it with my freaking mind.
That's a good meme. I think I reposted that one.
Saints Row. I was a Saints Row. I had all the Saints Row games. I had 1 through 4, and then they came out with this nonsense where it's just like, oh, we got to pay off our student loans. Like, what is this? What is
Saints Row was pretty good. Like the whole reason why Saints Row was successful was because they hadn't released GTA 4. They hadn't released GTA 4 on Xbox 360 yet.
Yeah, and then they kind of leaned into a different direction than GTA, because GTA went like a super serious drama, where Saints Row went comedic, like really comedic.
Yeah.
I think it
let's
worked pretty well.
Let's make it ridiculous, and then they just kept upping the ante with the lower budget. And I
2
think
was
that's
good.
Well, that's the
was
thing
good.
that's crazy. I like 2 the most probably, but like I think
was
it's
really good.
crazy that they slopped up the entire franchise by not realizing what niche they're in. It's supposed to be goofier GTA.
A goofy gangster, yeah.
Yeah.
2 was really good. 3 was really good, and they kind of jumped the shark a lot with 4.
So, but 4 was still fun because you were like, running around doing
a lot of fun because you're basically a superhero.
Yeah,
doing all kinds of crazy nonsense. But it was a lot of fun still.
What's the appeal though of the generic version of the sequel? I mean, I had the same thing happen with I used to love the Skate series a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Skate 1 through 3. And they released a new one on EA. It's just called Skate with a period. And it fucking sucks. And there's no real companies in it, and It's like all the characters are all like Fortnite characters looking. It's completely ruined the the niche culture that is the skating world. It's like that's not in the game. The game is this generic Fortniteification, you know, corporate acceptable punk stuff, and nobody wants that. I don't know. That's not an audience, and I think that's the same thing that's happening to all these games now. They're not made for anybody.
They're made for a hypothetical audience.
Yeah.
That exists in the minds of the corporate research, but not in real life. See, Rob breaking into my house at 3 a.m., me making my mac and cheese in the kitchen. Hello there.
Hello there.
Let's see. Jurassic World is Indominus Rex. Let's see here. And what is this? Millions of hours and billions of dollars were spent to convince you this is evil. Yeah, this is considered fascism.
I know, right?
Today.
And that's not even the ideal situation. The ideal situation would be you have a much larger property and you have like multi-generational families like we used to have.
Yeah, and a white picket fence.
Yeah.
And a dog. Where's the dog?
Yeah, where's
March
the
for Bottle Wednesday. Imagine the back rooms was Frasier and Niles. That'd be pretty funny. Raja Nabadu Gola Wookie Nipple Pinchy. Let's see. Companies on May 31st, company on June 1st. The whole of Utah is investigated by the feds. Some old dude gets ripped off. Boom.
Yep.
Let's see. John
Mormons
Deere
sticking together.
As
they want to do.
Farting cartoon. Farting super racists. Fandom nice people who are socially well adjusted. Cartoon. Wholesome hugging helping bunnies. Yeah. Yes, this is actually pretty true. I don't know how this happens. It's something about the millennial style of writing or something. Because, like, Amazing Digital Circus, for example, is one I keep bringing up because it actually is pretty good. I do like Amazing Digital Circus, but it does have that fan base. It does have this fan base. However, as I said before, Smiling Friends and Space King do not. They do not have this problem. It's Has Been Hotel who has this problem. Amazing Digital Circus, Ruby. These things have this problem.
Quirk Chungus.
We got Quirk Chungus and weirdo sex fans. Steven Universe has this problem.
I hate Steven Universe so much. I'm glad we're kind of getting away from that. Unless I'm mistaken. I really feel like that era is over.
I think it is.
I just get that feeling. I don't know if it's justified yet. I don't know if it just feels like that. But like when all the USAID money went away, it seemed like a lot of stuff that nobody really thought about died. And I thought that's
a lot of it kind of the bottom like dropped out from underneath them. It seems.
Yeah, like there's no alternative, like there's no ESG funding source that can supplement you shitting on your audience anymore. So now they're really panicking. It feels like. I don't think that the Backrooms movie made by a 20-year-old would work in 5 years ago. Is what I'm saying. I don't think that would have happened. For some reason.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like the Markiplier, like his Iron Lung movie, I don't think would have happened either. Let's see. Am I underwater?
You were, but you're okay.
So I'm there. Okay, fantastic. Let's see. What is this? Oh, yeah, I remember this. I don't even get a real name, only a purpose. And then Carl gropes younger men. Why? Why would you give them the little middle name of Gropes? Like, what does that mean other than what we know it to mean? This is Nintendo Direct rumor. Shane, shut the fuck up. They pirated this carnival game down the road for free. Speed limit 25. High score is 58 though. Reverse John Wick. This time, someone did that. There is a reverse John Wick comic. It's about the dog going on a revenge trek.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
I think it's called Good Boy, actually. Yeah, it's not even like a regular dog. It's like a dog in a suit.
And the dog is played by Keanu Reeves.
I would only hope. But it is a black dog, I think. So it kind of has like the same shade of hair.
That's pretty funny.
But it is pretty funny. They did a reverse John Wick where he avenges his master's death. But he's still wearing the suit and stuff too. It's pretty funny.
Gotta wear the suit, man.
Yeah, style. It's called style.
It's called fashion, okay?
Let's see. The dog has a gun and refuses to take his medication. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's a minigun. Let's see. What's this? Newark family, 3-year-old puppy stolen at gunpoint. Stolen dog. Oh no, John Wick. John Wick is on the case. Don't worry about it. Let's see. This new game, the game I was about to finish. It's funny because it's true.
Who steals someone's fucking dog, bro?
Jerks. The Russians, obviously.
That guy's a real jerk.
Let's see. Oh, an artist. I wonder what he's drawing. Is he drawing me? No. He's drawing a woman, though. What is this? Who else stocked up on limited edition King of the Hill WD-40? That's pretty awesome, actually. King of the Hill WD-40. It's pretty awesome. That's probably the best, like, coordination of a show.
That's
they
good.
Know
branding.
their audience. You also need like hand kill propane. Whoa!
I'm surprised that doesn't exist.
There we go. Get some WD-40 works.
WD-40. It's actually not a lubricant.
In all actuality, Bobby.
Bobby?
Whoa!
You need silicone grease, not WD-40.
But Dad, what if somebody wants their steak well done?
That is un-American, Bobby.
We politely yet firmly ask them to leave. Which one of these do you think has better saves? Probably like the Team Rocket Magikarp submarine that they had. For some
Hell
reason.
yeah, dude.
The Team Rocket is even though they might be losers or something or whatever, but they have like apparently a big budget that they keep getting on these devices.
They never die, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah, they keep like bribing the Grim Reaper. Like, no, here's a bunch of 20s. Come back next time.
Bunch of 20s. It's gonna be more this time, buddy.
That'd be kind of funny for like a mechanic for a game. Like you don't know how many lives you have, but you do have as many lives as it takes to pay off the Grim Reaper.
That sounds like a
money.
good setup.
Pretty fun.
Like a Ghost Rider type thing.
Yeah, you get to pay off the Grim Reaper. Like, all right, well, I'll take the change in your pocket. I'll come back. And the next time it's $5. And the next time it's like 100 or something. And see, damn, even Lego is going after that Ocean Gate meme.
That was so self-inflicted. They could have avoided that. I was amazed when I read into it. We learned about it. Like they promoted aesthetic. Like they found like aesthetics better and more of a priority than structure and safety. Yeah, it's so retarded.
Where have you heard this before? They prefer the outward look of the thing rather than the structure of it and the substance of it. Very familiar. I'll take you to the bottom of the Ohio River. It's probably actually a better idea to go down the river in that.
Probably has
Matt
more
is
tensile
gay stew. Zofrats is girl stew, and Glib is downer stew.
That is correct.
There's different versions of stew. All right,
50
where are we
Shades
going?
of Stew.
Oh yeah, they could control the submarine with like a game controller.
Yeah, with the Logitech controller, and it had they had no backup system for it. And
I feel like they tell you that you're going to control the submarine with a Logitech controller, it's kind of like I'm pulling you. That's signal for you to pull out.
You have to go pay You have to pay $150,000 to go get crushed.
To go
and
die.
they can't even use an actual Xbox controller. It has to be the knockoff company.
A Logitech controller. But anyway, one thing about Freerin, which is a really good anime, is that I found out that the same lady who voices Freerin also voices the High Elf from Goblin Slayer. So
okay.
I thought that was kind of interesting. Like she plays two iconic elves. It's weird that it happened twice. And she just looks at him. Oh, let's see. I'm starving. Hi, starving. I'm Freerin. I hate you. It's such a boomer joke.
That's one of the classics.
That's a boomer age joke. That's an old, but it makes sense that Freerin would do it because she's like 1,000.
It's a dad joke.
And see, get married, make babies, boom, pregnant. What's this? If you stare at me like that, I'll make me pregnant. Let's see. Aura. Just why is this behind Batman?
I don't know.
Boom, man. Star Wars kid. And then I meant to make this meme ages ago when Pride Month was still on, but yeah, pronounced gay is the Irish for goose.
I love gays.
I love the gays. It's he will most likely marry very young and not realize until age 40 that he's a total douche. Let's see. I don't want to. I don't want anybody telling me how to feel anymore. Well, then you're just a fucking asshole. Is this Abraham Lincoln? How Palpatine reacted to the Death Star's destruction. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! I'm never going to financially recover from this. Let's see. Imagine that you are on vacation, chilling and doing some fishing, and all of a sudden Vader calls you from the hologram to tell you that some rebel scum blew up your shit. Let's see. How about the inspiring speech of Darth Vader to keep going? It's canon. What do you mean they blew up the Death Star? Oh, just build another one, real fucking original. Who's gonna give me a loan, you jackhole? Just get your 7.2 asthmatic ass back over here, or I'm gonna tell everybody what a whiny little bitch you were about your Panamaid or Panabear, whatever her name was. And see. That's what happens when you focus around the blunties. Do I think our babies can talk? Let's see. Do not redeem. Do not redeem.
Sorry.
Fact: 90% of God kings quit right before they are about to make the eternal kingdom with an endless golden age.
True.
Instagram, real life. Let's see. There is, I think that's like Demon Slayer with the priestess from Goblin Slayer, and then there's Mando with, I think, the sister from Demon Slayer, and there's Goblin Slayer with Baby Yoda, and then there is heavy metal music intensifies. Oh, because he looks like a goblin. I mean, that's true. See, Cad Bane was cool because he looked like a bounty hunter, and his whole thing was about hunting down like a bounty. Well, James Cameron. Oh, there's another sentence. Oh yeah, this is the one with the washing machine. Goblin Slayer. Let's see. Going to Waffle House at night be like for dinner and a show. Tekken director asks why Americans want Waffle House to be a stage in Tekken 8.
That'd be pretty badass.
You wouldn't get it. It should be like a one you earn. Like you beat the game like 3 times or something like that. You earn that stage.
Yes.
The start of the time. So they laugh at my boner, will they? I'll show them how many boners a Joker can make. We'll start pounding, Joker. Later, and the Joker's newest boner crime was foiled by the alert action of Batman and Robin. Bah! Confound that Batman! It is well that I am ready to trick him into his boner. Then the tables will be turned. I think there's some like a penguin-looking guys back there. Back when like they had just regular henchmen.
Yeah, right.
And not like a themed henchman. And I assume that's funny. Let's see. And then there's these. I have the power to have all the powers. Now, well, I say, let it die, let it die. This guy's hilarious. This part really made me laugh when I watched the movie. It's like everyone's saying, like, let it grow, let it grow. And this guy, hold on. Let it die, let it die. Let this company die and stop being able to abuse my employees. Mansley. I'm a carrot. Reb Snyder is a carrot.
A stapler.
Let's see. Murder Jones. That was it. One of the millennial style writing tropes is having your show or book or whatever be in on the joke. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
All right. I like Amazing Deal Circus. I've been collecting quite a bit, but it's still millennial slop. It has that millennial slop feel to it. Here. It's like they want you to know the reference you're making. When you watching porn, but the plot is good. Have you seen like Yahtzee? Yahtzee had like a review of some game. He's like, I'm the kind of guy who likes my porn to have a story.
Right? Yeah, because he's talking about gameplay.
Yeah, like why are they doing this? This Ray would sell, I think.
Sexy Ray.
This Ray would sell more tickets.
Yeah,
people would be invested. I'm pretty sure. Just Charlie. Is that what it actually looks like? Dude, I gotta lose weight like immediately. That's good stuff. I know the origins of this character now. He's like immortal, which is crazy. And started the plague. He got kicked out of the bar because people were mad at him for starting the plague. And he helped start Smiling Friends. It's a male horse fantasy. I love you all. Vosh horse fantasy. Time for your daily milking session. I don't know. I'm going to bed. I can see the problem is you're on Steam, you asshole. Why would you be Steam friends with your boss? That sounds retarded to me. Hello.
Oh, hello.
That's what about this episode. He's like, he's awesome, and he just quits because he already won. He won
he's
everything.
done everything. He's all bored.
And see, more does not equal better.
100%.
Exactly.
So true.
All right, chat. We're gonna go ahead and close stream for today. Thank you much, everyone joining me. Thank you much, Glib and Stu for joining me today. And thank you much, Best Chat, for always being the best chat. We wonderful rest of your day. So again, of course, next time.
On a cold winter morning in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal reign, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness has fallen down